What's good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I am one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We got our man, Brooklyn's finest. We got DJ Goldfinger here.
Yo.
We got Uptown's finest right here. We got Marty Rock in the building. And we have our partner in crime at Barstool from KFC
Let's
Radio.
go.
KFC
Let's do
was
it.
good,
I'm back,
yo.
baby. I'm back.
What's good, yo?
I got the second invite, so let's go.
So, I mean, we got to talk about it. Like, the dust has settled, right?
For sure.
The war is over.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's over.
The war is over.
It's over.
Kendrick is what? Is the victor now? Like he's
Debatable.
You got, bro, Goldie, you have been so crazy in the group chat the last couple weeks. I came into this whole thing like I was very upfront. I am Team Drake, and I don't even really like Kendrick Lamar. And I'm walking around whistling "Not Like Us" and proclaiming him the winner. And I am the most stubborn asshole in the world when it comes to this shit. And even I was like, "Yo, it's no doubt about it."
At one listen, KFC. At one listen, you love that song. You were like,
I love the beat right away.
you did.
Yeah. See, my opinion is DJ Mustard won this battle. That what Kendrick did on that track was impressive. And once I started to listen to it, he did his thing. But if he doesn't drop, I think the final nail in the coffin was a club banger on top of all the shit he had done. So, I think he strategically played his cards so perfectly with every beat and every step of the way. But once that came, that's what Kendrick usually is like that guy, and he can do that just as well apparently now.
I think this just goes to show how powerful and strong the Drake brand is. You feel me? Like, he pretty much gave Kendrick the resurgence, or actually his first club hit, really, because I don't really think, like, people playing DNA and shit like that, or, they made edits going into Mo Bamba or whatever. I hear that's a popular edit, but...
You're saying DNA into Mo Bamba.
Right.
Because the I got hoes.
Right. Like, I'm not even playing that edit. I'm burning the original. You know what I mean? Like, I got zero Kendrick in my set still to this day. Yes. Zero.
From an East Coast perspective, I was talking to people. Is this Kendrick's first like East Coast certified banger? Where it's like undeniable.
I would say.
I believe so.
Yeah, I would say so. Only because I feel like he's talking greasy, like really greasy on the track. And like New York cats we got the gift of gab. You know what I mean? It's our arrogance. We got an arrogance to us. You know what I mean? So I feel like it resonates with certain people, but I'm still not playing that record.
Why aren't you playing?
I still don't have that shit on my Serato.
I think Problems was a club joint that we enjoyed where he was on.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That type of beat, whatever like that.
And he had one of the most singable sections.
Points.
And portions,
right. So he definitely has, a little bit of club play, and that All Right gets played in the clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, there's a Harlem guy. There's a Harlem guy on that track. ASAP. You know what I mean? Rocky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you feel me? So it's like I feel like you got to step up or step out. You know what I mean? So he stepped up to match his swag. You know, I mean, granted, I'm 100% positive they wasn't all in the studio when that happened. But when you hear the reference track, you're like, all right, I got to step up. I got to bring some kind of arrogance to this.
In real time, New York, when Good Kid, Mad City came out, what was the records we were playing in New York at that time?
Bro,
maybe Mad City, right?
Even that shit had like no legs. Like after 2 weeks, you feel me? And this is like when One Oak was open. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could kind of run it and see how it goes, but it wasn't like
after the that shit.
Thing is, the album is great. I love those albums.
Great album.
Great albums. You can listen to them, but as far as club play, it was never a factor.
And then the other one that I would run was the All My Life, I Got Money and Power. Like
even then. Joint.
But it was just like, that was a reach.
Even then.
That's a big reach.
And then when Damn came out, I remember running Humble at Up and Down, and they were just looking at me like...
Right.
Like the energy just died when I play Kendrick.
I'm obviously not a DJ, but coming from a fan point of view, like we never talked about Kendrick. It never you knew his name and he was so respected, but it was just like I tried so many times to like the single, to like the album, and I just stopped eventually. I was like, this guy is just not for me, and that's okay.
To be fair, J. Cole didn't get that much burn in the clubs. So it's not personal. It's not an East-West thing.
No.
It's just that some people can make club records, and it doesn't necessarily have to be trap music or down south records or anything like that. Just make appeasable records for the club.
But does this show that like Kendrick can just do it when he wants to do it?
I think Mustard can do it.
Yeah.
It's more of a definitely a Mustard thing.
So like I guess maybe you guys tell me how much of because Kendrick's smart with like the OV ho shit, and the hook is very singable, and it's like if Kendrick's the one coming up with that, I think he deserves respect too.
No,
but
the
if
Not
that's
Like Us chorus is just, it was perfect. It encapsulated everything that he needed to say at that time to distance himself from Drake, and it was catchy enough with the beat.
Yeah.
He just caught lightning in the bottle.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Is it that, or if he wanted to do it again tomorrow and make another club hit, could he?
Not without mustard.
Right.
Well, no. This is the important part. That is an undeniable LA, Bay Area, California anthem. And as soon as he dropped it, it was a West Coast anthem, and the West Coast hopped on it. The first videos you saw of a crowd's wilding out was in the West.
Yep.
Right.
Everybody crip walking and shit.
And then everyone was like, I want to get down with this shit. And everyone just started vibing off of that. But him making a Cali banger and saying like, and telling Drake like, yo, what are you talking about? Like,
here's another fact.
Like I got the whole West Coast on my
when
side.
you have I don't know, I'm totally East Coast biased, and I'm sure the West Coast has been, a force forever, but it feels like they almost got like rejuvenated in a way, right? The West Coast is like here again.
They letting their nuts hang, yo.
Yeah, right.
They definitely letting their nuts hang, yo.
And that to me is like, that might be.
It is though.
Forget about beating Drake. Like that is almost as much of his legacy as beating him is. It's like the West Coast is back, and this is our fucking anthem, and like we won.
I think hip hop won though.
I think another thing that people are not factoring in is that he has the biggest club record out right now.
It's a number one.
Before he put Not Like Us out. That record is still huge.
Like that.
Yeah, the Future joint with him.
Oh, yes.
So he has that. That's another factor that kind of sways it his way. Because he got a joint out right now.
And not only that,
undeniable.
I don't think it's a club record, but people are playing Euphoria. Like
that's crazy.
They're running it, and they're running it in Brooklyn. They're running it heavy.
Dude,
they're playing that record.
He ran this battle to perfection.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're crazy, man. The strategy of it.
I agree
don't
with
think
you,
so.
Kid.
Goldie, you
I
said
agree with
something
you, Kid.
really important. We were talking earlier.
Yeah.
And he said the same. You said that Drake fucked up again from Pusha T. And I said how?
I think that Drake fucked up again because he used the same tactic that he used against Pusha T against Kendrick. Mm-hmm. And
mentioning his wife.
Mentioning his wife, that was the same road that he went down. So when he did that, I think he unlocked a thing where I know how far you're gonna go.
Yeah, Kendrick said it. He was like, if you leave it at this, we're fine, and if you take it further, I'm gonna push my button, and that's exactly what happened.
Now you know, like the Batman thing, where it's like the Joker, he'll burn it down.
Yes,
but he knows that Batman won't kill him.
Batman has rules.
He has rules.
Yep.
He has rules. But the guys that he's battling, they don't have any rules.
Right.
So,
that's where I think, though, I don't know if people thought Kendrick Lamar had that side of him, and maybe again East Coast bias. I
think he did.
Really?
I think he did.
Because I was thinking the same thing. Like Kendrick's too artsy, and Mr. Morales was this like a therapy record, and like, can he just get down and dirty with it?
No, but you got to remember, he's a street dude first, bro.
Well, that's what I mean.
He's the kid in the neighborhood where the OGs was like, nah, let him rock. He's gonna put our neighborhood on. He's gonna put on for the hood. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So there's kids in the hood where you give him a pass where you're like, yo, this kid got a future. He's a DJ, or he's an artist, or he's
basketball player.
Or he's a basketball player. You know what I mean? Where he's valid with. In my neighborhood, it was the Latin Kings, the Nietas, the DDPs, the Trinitarios, or whatever. But you didn't necessarily have to jack a set because everybody knew that, you.
This was you.
But that still doesn't mean you pussy. You know what I mean? You still got to fight. You still got to defend yourself and all that shit because you always going to have haters. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I knew he had it in him because he's not pussy. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you a street dude first. You a man first. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I can have everybody backing me up in the industry, but if I'm an ass DJ, I got to defend myself. I'm gonna get on that set and I'm gonna talk shit. You know what I mean? So like, you got to have that in your pocket, and I knew that Kendrick had that in his pocket.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome.
Bienvenidos. You do English, I do Spanish.
You're gonna translate.
I got you.
Okay. We are here to announce.
Estamos aquí para anunciar
that the Road Podcast is launching a Patreon.
Que nuestro podcast está viendo a Patreon.
A Patreon.
A Patreon.
A Patreon.
No Patreon.
So you guys go to patreon.com/Road Podcast.
Vayan a patreon.com.com.
Yeah. /Road Podcast.
/Road Podcast.
And sign up to be a member.
Vayan a patreon.com/Road Podcast. Para todos contentos de que vamos a poner afuera.
Wait, you're saying a lot more shit than I said.
No, I said way less shit, bro. I'm like the thing at Disneyland. Por favor, pongan sus manos y sus pies adentro del carro.
So on this Patreon, there's going to be an extra episode a month, but you're also going to get early access to some of the episodes that we release.
Vamos a poner extra episodios y extra videos de contento que Crooked ha trabajado muy, muy fuerte en.
Wait, you said something like
You're okay. Just keep going.
Who am I fucking really hard?
No, you're working really hard on things. Jesus Christ.
So in addition, on this Patreon, there's going to be an extra episode. There's going to be early access. You're also going to get your name in the credits on the YouTube videos.
Ooh.
And there's also going to be a ton of content. We're working on a bunch of projects. We're going to tease a lot of the projects. There's going to be vlogs in there. There's going to be behind the scenes things. There's all kinds of content that we're going to be posting. And yeah, man, like throughout the years, you guys have supported us. And we're really hoping to build this new community on Patreon. So go to patreon.com/Road Podcast. We'll see you there.
Hasta luego. Ciao.
Peace.
The main thing, though, I think in any battle, if you are not on the offensive, you're losing. It's like you just have to keep hammering the other side with whether it's facts. I personally, we can get into this too.
Facts doesn't mean anything.
I know. That part bothers me. That part really bothers me. I think it's crazy that Kendrick Lamar potentially had an entire verse about a fictional daughter that doesn't exist. But that should be a major knock, and people just don't seem to care about it.
But people were saying that even Tupac, smashing Biggie, Faith Evans.
Yeah,
that was never true.
She stands on that to this day.
He's like, yo,
Yeah, I mean,
debatable.
She said she was a hoe though.
Allegedly.
There's a clip out there where
You
she's
never
like,
know.
that started to circulate with this one, and I was like, I think that probably happened.
No comment.
But maybe I'm being naive, but I thought that happened.
Nah, that's hilarious.
I think like that was the one side of the battle from both sides. The one thing about the battle from both sides that I thought, if you start just lying and making shit up, it's like, well, then what are we doing here? Then it just becomes an exercise in who can rap better, and that's fine too. But I like it better when we're speaking on, truths.
But the thing I think that was genius was, even if that was debatable, even if it was shaky at most as far as with the actual factual, whatever, he came with the not like us and it kind of erased that argument.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
It was just so timely.
Yep.
Like it was like, yeah, you're going to debate this, but fuck that. I'm getting my troops together in the West Coast, and this is how we ride now.
Well, I almost thought it not like us is almost the victory lap.
Yeah.
Like, because I thought the biggest point, the turning point in the battle, or like the most important point, when Drake dropped Family Matters and thought, this is it. This is like my one. Then it fucking
30 seconds. No, 30 minutes later he throws on the grams.
Which one was the one with the AI? Was that like an official drop?
No, that was
tailor-made.
tailor-made.
It was a leak?
That was like that was tailor-made.
It was real, but it wasn't on.
It was an Instagram.
It wasn't
type
released
thing.
as a single and all
Yeah,
that.
like I felt like that was stupid. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a bad move too.
I don't think
it was
so.
risky.
I think it was too.
Don't get me wrong. It was innovative. It was risky. You know what I mean?
I think if Kendrick does that, he's a genius.
You think so?
Yeah.
But Drake, because he's light skinned?
Well, no, that's
Allegedly.
Debatable. The biggest, I actually think looking back on it, not to take anything away from Kendrick, because like I said, I think strategically he ran the battle perfect. I think he did every type of rap, every type of beat. He made all the right moves, all that. I think coming into this, I don't think Drake...
He couldn't win.
Drake couldn't win. People
win.
so badly want to see that dude fail and want to see him on the bottom that they will believe anything. They will ride for any other rapper, any other song. They just want it to be no more Drake.
It was a pile-on, and you got to think about it like this. It was pretty much a 10 versus 1, and nobody knew why. Like everybody just turned from 1 week. It was like Drake was cool.
Yeah.
Then the next week it was like fuck Drake.
Yep.
And nobody said why.
Right.
Now I can't.
Wait, what do you think it is? What do you think?
I think it's envy.
I think that's very odd because like Joe Budden was saying, there's got to be a reason why motherfuckers are hating on him. And I was like, I don't know if there is a reason.
Bro, listen. Think about what just regular life, right? Yeah. You could, if you, in any industry, if you find out that everybody hates one dude,
right?
Is it just jealousy? I'm sure there's a few dudes there's jealousy. I'm sure there's a lot of jealousy that plays into it. But when everyone agrees, and you also your own people aren't really having your back, like who stood up for Drake?
Let me give you a perfect example. Okay, my fault. So when Bad Bunny dropped his album, right, the one that made him cross over, right? Mm-hmm. I was DJing at a club downtown New York City, like the heart of downtown. You feel me? And I get a call from the GM. Yo, I need you to be on your P's and Q's. There's this major Latin artist coming tonight that wasn't Bad Bunny, right? So I'm like, okay, I knew his road manager. So I was like, let me call his road manager. Yo, is there a DNP? Is there a do not playlist? He's like, yo, Bad Bunny is clipped. Not one Bad Bunny record. Mind you, without giving away too much, Bad Bunny and this artist pretty much got an album together off of so many collaborations. Mm-hmm. So I'm like,
I know who this is.
Yeah, I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn. I can't even play their collab joints. He's like, absolutely zero Bad Bunny, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Because it's the comparison.
So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So another Latin artist comes that night of that same caliber. Again, I asked his road manager, what's on his DMP? No Bad Bunny. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on, yo? Fast forward to a week later, another Latin artist comes. Yo, what's on his DMP? No Bad Bunny. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is happening? So then I spoke to the original artist road manager. I'm like, yo, what's the beef about? He's like, yo, real talk, he's just out of here. He's astronomical. And he like forgot about everybody. You know what I mean?
Another thing is I've lived through the whole situation where you saw Big was like champion. He was the king of New York. He was this. Yeah. And I just saw it from one crew to the next crew to the next crew to the next crew take shots.
Yeah.
Because he was at the top.
Yeah.
And you just see it from week to week to week to week.
Yeah, but their goons was also beating up DJs though.
What was it?
Their goons was also beating up DJs.
No, they were beating up DJs because they were playing fucking Tupac records.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yo, if they're there in the club.
You deserve to get beat up.
Yeah. If you're in the club and you're playing Hit 'Em Up while they're there.
That's bugging. You
deserve your ass.
There's no way motherfuckers at that time in the 90s were playing Hit 'Em Up in the club.
No, they totally were. They totally
They're bugging.
I've never played that record in my life.
They're bugging.
Really?
Never.
That's just because he's institutionalized.
No, that's respect, man. Nah. It's a man with morals.
Nah, that record would never get burned.
If I never moved to Vegas and I never DJ'd in Cali and started intermingling with the West Coast, I would never be playing Hit 'Em Up or any of these.
But you sold out and you did. But you sold out.
I did. I am a whore. I am a DJ whore. If I see everyone singing the words to that shit, I'm like, this is all right. This is all right. I keep going.
But in conclusion, I brought up that Bad Bunny story because I think it's just envy, man. I just think people are envious of his run. Yeah, bro.
Like there's not even like a guy like Ross who like they had 1 million records together and you would have thought that they were like tight. Like and then okay, let's say all those guys are jealous.
Yeah.
There's not one other artist, DJ, manager, whoever who would step up and be like, yo, Drake is a stand-up guy who's like done good for this industry.
But it's the power on. It's like you're seeing it in so many different cases. You've seen it with Diddy. You see it with Trump. I mean, there's a lot of people that are just not going to come to your aid when everybody starts piling on.
It's interesting.
Wait, so Drake got hip hop Me Too'd?
Yo, no, I think Drake got hip hop trumped.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting you bring up Trump because I mean, if you look at the way Trump runs a campaign, he just picks a nickname, picks a slander about you, whether it's truthful or not, and he comes up with some clever shit. He makes it very digestible for his contingency to make America great again or build that wall, whatever these little slogans are. Sleepy Joe, Lion Hillary, Crooked Ted. He said Ted Cruz's dad killed JFK. He's just making shit up, but he just says it over and over again. And then these other guys are on the defensive. He's up there going, my dad didn't kill JFK. You look like a fucking lunatic.
Right.
The same way Drake was totally fucked the minute that Kendrick decided to hammer the pedophile shit because everybody was saying, how come you're not addressing these allegations? And as soon as he did, everyone said, you look like a lunatic being on a song saying you're not a pedophile.
Well, now you look guilty. You look guilty because you look defensive.
Either way, you're defensive if you address it and you're hiding it if you don't. You're fucked.
Yeah, but I think him waiting as long as he did built that anticipation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I felt like shit started getting lost in translation. Like once he dropped, Drake dropped, he dropped. Like I was like, yo, I can't keep up, bro. Like
I think it was like 5 songs in 48 hours. Something
crazy.
But you got to think that Drake started that pace because he shot first.
Right.
And then he came again with the AI joint.
And was
he
saying,
had
where
to-
you at? Where you at?
Where you at? Drop.
Yeah.
So I think he set the pace, and I don't believe that he believed that Kendrick, being that he's been so absent.
Again, he's not pussy. Again,
And I also think
But it was just activity. I think that he's looking at it like, this guy drops every 5 years.
Yes.
He's not going to stay in a studio
Cole
making
said
a
it
whole
too.
bunch of records about me.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
He did.
And
He's
he
going to
did.
make one, and he did.
But
He said
you know
he
what,
made 10
though?
records in one night.
That doesn't make, because Drake did say, like, I know you got 10 records about me, so drop them. So, like, either he either thought he had them and they were not good, or he was calling his bluff.
Wait, no, but I think he said that in the first song. I think he said he had a
you've
clip.
been holding. He said you've been holding on to a record for 4 years.
4 years.
Oh,
so,
okay.
like, to be, like, you know, surprised by the...
No, you've been holding on to a record for 10 years because you've
Yeah.
been hating since
Yeah.
Control.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I think that you saw that. Did you see that video of I think the producer and the engineer saying he recorded he just recorded
kept going.
nonstop.
Yeah.
Because he didn't respond for like 3 weeks. He was just in the studio
building them up.
just recording just like 8 songs to 10 songs straight.
Yo, I think what we learned, I mean, I don't know what the next battle will look like, but...
That's why he didn't address anything that Drake said.
Yes, but that also like, don't even fucking listen to them.
Right.
Act like I haven't even heard your record. I'm just going to continue to hammer my shit. I also, but again, to go back to the Drake bias, like what Drake said about Kendrick was equally as slanderous. People just didn't care. They were just like, yo, you're raising that baby and it's not yours, and you hit your wife, and people just didn't care.
They were like,
Here's the thing is, he didn't make a catchy chant
That's the
about being a
thing.
wife beater.
yes, right.
He didn't make a line that made the crowd say you beating your wife or your fiance.
That's what I'm saying. It was a Trump campaign.
This
you
is
know?
why, because you said it best. You said Drake, in the end, wants to be a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
And you
wants to
cannot
be
win a
God.
battle that way. You got to be.
He has limits.
Yeah,
Yes,
But
limits.
you're also giving these listeners way too much fucking credit. You know what I mean? Like this is the same demographic that made You're Such a Fucking Hoe, I Love It go quadruple platinum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is the same demographic. You know what I mean? So like if you hit them with the lyrical, shit like that, they not listening, bro. You know, like nobody
Gotta
could
break
tell
it
you.
down, make it simple.
Nobody could tell you what Kendrick said on his first diss track. That one where he was all like biblical and shit, like prophetic or whatever. I can't even tell you. Like I heard it and I'm like, the fuck is he preaching about, bro?
Nah, but Family Matters is like a beautiful record.
That was the best record of the whole battle.
I think it's going to age better than.
That's
well,
the
not
best
like us is
record.
going to be
For
like
hip hop heads.
I think that's the best record of the whole battle.
going from
and it got no.
It's on the
fucking
charts.
It was
It's on the
mention.
charts.
It was
but
sick.
But no,
mode,
yes,
too.
it's on the charts. I think it's like 7, but it got no mention. Like
It
it,
was-
didn't breathe at all. It was
but
just
that-
gone.
the song was
He
so
didn't let it
lyrical,
breathe, 'cause
miracle.
the
Well,
ran right after it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I had heard. I don't know if you guys heard the same. I had heard early on that Drake planned to step on a Kendrick track. That Drake had a record ready, and that once Kendrick finally replied, he was going to drop like a minute later. And maybe that was just a rumor. Maybe it was not true. Whatever happened, maybe Drake took some time to rewrite. But letting Kendrick do that to him, it was over.
You know-
it was over. And Meet the Grams, I think, is the fact that it was so. I'm not gonna go listen to that song ever again, probably.
No.
But it was so weird and unique and dark and Alchemist beat, and you were like, "What the fuck?" And so it was weird enough and quick enough that it was just like, never mind. Family Matters is over here,
Right.
and Family Matters is fucking dope.
With 3 switches.
It's oh man,
Crazy.
it's fire.
Three different flows, 3 different melodies. It's a beautifully displayed record of lyrical and melodic.
Yeah.
But again,
skill.
to his point
It's
though,
an
like
audio
sometimes
book, B.
people aren't
No,
looking
no.
at that, you know.
It's an audio
They're
book,
just-
B. But again, that was for the hip hop head.
Yeah.
That was for us. You know what I mean? That was for like. Again, you're not gonna sit down and have a conversation about a battle with somebody who listens to Playboy Cardi, right? Well, you're not gonna have that same conversation with somebody who listens to Jedi Mind Tricks. You know what I mean? Like it's not. It just doesn't resonate. You know what I mean? Like
we kind of pushed the goalpost back a little bit for this battle.
Bro, the goalpost moved all over the fucking place. They moved forward, they moved back, they moved left, they moved right. Everything Kendrick said was like an incredible smash. Everything Drake said got poo-pooed. The
dude said, you open the mouth, you're going to get a Grammy. It's like, you know. Mm-hmm.
That melody, that beat with fucking Mark Ronson even producing that last part is fucking beautiful.
That's crazy.
But you know what? I knew Drake was fucked when I think maybe a day or two after Not Like Us came out. And I had two different girls in my life. One who's like 22, works at Barstool. Another one my age. Both of them were like, oh, this is a bop. Yeah. I like this, and they have they don't care about hip hop at all. And they're walking around going, wop wop wop, certified, love boy, certified pedophile. You know, like, and that's when I knew I was like, oh no.
I'm watching basketball and that shit comes on. I was like, oh,
dude,
it's over.
They play that.
It's when that shit starts happening,
and the NBA,
it's over.
NBA,
they play that shit in the garden, right?
Going off the break, and they playing that record. That shit. Like oh,
just the instrumental.
Shit.
They're not playing.
No. Well, they're playing Not Like Us.
They play
but not the pedophile stuff.
Ace Smooth cleaned it up, bro. Ace Smooth made a clean version to it.
I know they made a clean version, but I'm curious what they say during that certified level.
Did you see
certified?
Somebody made a funny video that the Kids Bop made a clean version.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's good? This is the R.O.A.D podcast, Reflections of a DJ. We're here in New York City, and we have invaded the Sound Collective. Now, I want to explain what the Sound Collective is. I got my man Lefty from the Sound Collective here. Lefty, thank you for having us and hosting this beautiful studio for us. Exactly what is the Sound Collective here in New York?
Modern, state-of-the-art facility with tons of production gear. And one side of it is you can be a member and you can come here and pay monthly to use the rooms and the gear and sign out time and our space. We have a state-of-the-art studio. We have all these production stations, DJ stations, instrument practicing rooms and such like that.
And you also teach. You have classes and sessions, right?
We have intensive programs, short-term programs that people can come and take Saturday classes on DJing, production.
There's kind of a community building within where there's DJs, producers, musicians.
Up and coming producers, people honing their craft and learning, and DJs and all these things. And they come here and practice, and we have all the new gear, so they come and check that out and get familiar. And a lot of DJs will come in from out of town, be like, let me get a day pass so I can just get a refresh on the 3000s and the V10.
And what's great is that a lot of our guests, everyone from Clark Kent to the technician to Camilo, they come in here and they're just holy shit.
You want to play with all the gear, man? Yeah.
I didn't even realize this, but you guys have studio spaces where people can do live streams and they can do their Twitch streams.
Yep. We got a whole green screen set up already, multicam, full on switcher. We also do a lot of events here. We're bringing a lot of outside talent, organizations. We got a big event coming up with DJ City, Beat Source, and Serato.
That's part of our family.
Yeah. We did a big one last year with them. We got another one coming up.
For our listeners, is there any way we could hook them up with a deal, or if they put in a R.O.A.D podcast code?
Yeah, tell me about it. What else do you have in vision for this deal? It sounds like we're well on our way. Why don't you tell them?
You're working with us where they can type in a code for R.O.A.D.
Yep.
And they'll get a month free, right?
Yeah, on our online platform. We have a whole online platform with masterclass style education.
Nice.
Different categories and everything, instruments, drums. And then we have these things that we're launching right now called Pro Paths. So you can choose, if you're a producer, you can take the Ableton Pro Path, the Logic Pro Path, Serato Studio. Goes through a wide variety of knowledge besides just stuff in that skill set and discipline.
So our R.O.A.D listeners, if you're in New York, you can check out their facility. Mm-hmm. You can do a day pass, a week pass, a monthly pass. You can check out their site. You have access to all the education online.
Soundcollective.com. We also have a YouTube channel that has some of our content from the educational courses, and all of our events are live streamed and put up there.
I hope we can come back here and use your facilities again.
Looking forward to it.
Shout to Lefty and the Sound Collective. Thank you so much. Cypher Sounds said something that I thought was really, really interesting. He said,
I agree.
You heard it, right?
Yes.
He said Drake should have
jumped on that record.
Jumped on.
Yes.
It took some of the heat off of it.
Yes. The only thing that he could do better there is maybe make that song better.
Make it a better song. Not only that, but make it
your own clever shit.
Make an alternative so that the Drake stands have their anthem.
No,
and
it's like the Taylor recording all this shit. Take it away.
More of an East Coast banger, and then it would have been an East Coast, West Coast thing.
But what's another thing too? It's they kind of made us adopt Drake. This ain't got nothing to do with the East Coast.
Not the East Coast. It really is.
He's Canadian.
And it's if you said that you like Drake, oh, yo, motherfuckers in the East. Now what? What are you talking about?
But they did the same thing with Tory Lanez, though. Too. Wow. They did the same thing with Tory Lanez.
But the East Coast has always appreciated Kendrick. Whether they played the shit or not, it's just like J. Cole. No one's ever been like, yo, we don't fuck with J. Cole, we don't fuck with Kendrick. East Coast is always fuck
Let's
with
be honest.
Kendrick.
East Coast means New York.
Right.
Nobody thinks of like Atlanta as East Coast. You don't
Yeah,
think
that's
of,
why they bringing us into that
Miami.
shit.
I
Like,
mean,
that's
no,
just-
but you-
yeah,
but-
these East
we don't
Coast
got
just
nothing to
means
do
New
with that
York.
shit.
Think
Come
about
on now.
DC, Philly, like all those markets.
But why they bringing us into it? That's Toronto
Toronto's
and West
Canada.
Coast.
But
They don't
yeah.
have nothing to do
But
with us.
Toronto's kind of East Coast.
I would
I mean,
say
even-
this. I would say that I think New York does lean more Drake than it does Kendrick.
All right, so
I mean,
when Drake,
even when he
Drake
was
goes against
battling
Meek Mill,
exactly.
that's not East Coast.
I mean, and Meek is from Philly.
That got nothing to
Right.
do with us.
Like
Right.
New York was not Jack and Meek at all.
Right.
Hey, yo, fam, why are you bringing New York into this show?
Because we run the world, bro.
Nah,
We
you see
run the
comments.
world.
You see the comments, they're like, yo, East Coast, yo, East Coast. What does this got to do with
That's
us?
a great
fact.
point.
That's a
man.
fact.
It's a great point. It's like just
That's a
we're not
fact.
talking about geographics here. It's not.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that New York hopped on Not Like Us like it did. Because it's such a Cali record.
But
It's
are
such
we-
a Cali
are-
record.
are
Bro,
we-
I don't,
we-
yo, I'm gonna be dead ass with you. I just got back from Tokyo.
Yeah.
I don't have that record, bro. I downloaded $1 Million Baby before I downloaded that record.
But here's the thing in New York. Brooklyn is running that record Not Like Us to death. That
Are
is
they?
the anthem in Brooklyn. Yes.
Are they?
That's what it looks
yeah,
like.
but there's no New Yorkers in Brooklyn.
But in
no more.
Manhattan, in some of the bottle service spots in Manhattan, and there's probably gonna be a couple of DJs that's like, no, I was running that record. I was running. I'm just saying,
it's
like, it's.
I'm not so sure that people are playing that record in New York.
Yeah, I don't think.
I mean,
I
I'm never
think they
outside anymore,
will.
so I would know. But on
I
the
think
internet,
they will.
it's being played.
I've seen Brooklyn parties going on.
I think they will, but
Yeah.
I don't think that they're gonna like have it to where it's like that's my big joker. Like this has to play. This is my
Yeah.
prime time.
Yeah.
I don't see that
I don't
being
see
the
that
case.
I don't know, man. Again, when it reaches outside the bubble, like right now, if I was at a party, I know a ton of white girls who know nothing about hip hop who would like dance to that song.
Yeah.
And
They
I
would
think
love
that,
that.
I think to tell you the truth, and no disrespect, I think that makes it worse. I think because it's been so it's not-
Commercialized?
it's kind of like not ours.
I know you're saying it's almost like a TikTok
Yeah.
trendy
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah.
But don't
Right?
you
Like
think
bubblegum.
I
It's
cannot
bubblegum.
believe I'm like defending Kendrick Lamar because I don't like the guy. I don't like him as an artist. I don't have a problem with him as a person. But I think he made Euphoria is like a artsy hip hop track. He on 616 in LA, he's really rapping, and then he did the commercial shit. It's like he did every part, every
Yeah.
I think they
aspect
all
of rap.
did, to tell you the truth.
No,
I
yeah.
think Drake did
Just
too.
one
as well.
did it better.
Yeah.
I think the timing of it.
It's the timing.
Yeah.
It's the
It's
strategy.
that too.
Drake did not lose on. Drake lost on his reputation and his strategy, not necessarily his music.
I
Not
think
being
the
better.
problem is that someone in Drake's team should have understood about the importance of having a 100 BPM record. So that when Not Like Us came out, and then what was his response? What was that shit? It was
See how relevant
but
it was.
it's a dope
It was-
record though. The heart.
the hard.
Oh yeah, the hard part.
That's
six.
a dope record, but he should have came back with a 100 BPM record because a 100 BPM record just has a different fucking energy.
And it gets
Especially
it gets
now.
out, you know.
You-
Like
and Drake is so good at 100 BPMs.
You,
Yeah, but
you
he
know,
fucking
if he didn't
kills it.
step on that record, if he didn't step on the Not Like Us record, if he didn't do a verse on
would-
top of that,
he
and
would have
kinda
murdered
burned
that record. He
would've
would have murdered that record.
But he also would have been co-signing it to a certain degree too.
It don't
so I
matter.
can
But there's
see
no
why
rules.
he didn't do it.
I don't know. There's no rules, man.
The-
Yeah, but
the only
here's the
thing-
thing. Here's the thing. When he was battling Meek, and he did back to back, that BPM was being played in those rooms. That's what was being played.
Yeah, it was 80,
Yeah, like, it was in the 80s. You know what I mean? Now what's crossing over is the pop records,
Right.
the more dancier records, the
Right.
100 BPM.
Right.
Mustard knows that. Mustard, he's in the club.
But that's always been
But
always
Mustard
been
is-
and
his
that's
pocket.
Mustard
always
is
been his
100
bag. That's always been his
But
bag.
Kendrick kind of like just went to, I'm gonna take care of the West Coast. That's my base,
Facts.
and just bring it all together.
I think
He Sung Zoo'd him.
Drake would have by co-signing it, but I think it would have been the last card to play. Like he was down 100. If he did his own shit over Not Like Us, he would have to. It would have to,
He would have to burn it.
perfect.
He would have
He would have to murder it, burn it down, and then people will go, "Oh, wait a minute! Like he took your track." You know, it's at least it's a different angle other than just I'm going to come out with my own song. It's like, all right, let me yoink that from you.
I think Drake would have murdered it.
Now you got to think about it. They did. Jim Jones came out with Ballin'. Jay-Z got on Ballin' and did a response, and people really don't even really remember.
Yeah, that's also true.
You know what I mean? So it's like you really have to
God,
go
it's
back
got-
to it.
Drake-
But you're also forgetting Hit 'Em Up is Tupac taking Biggie's fucking beat and rhyming over it.
That's
and we don't play
Get Money remix.
Oh,
that was the whole point that he rhymed on Biggie's beat, and that's something that Drake could have done. He could have pulled a Hit 'Em Up, and he could have taken that song.
Especially
he even could have given props like, "Yo, Mustard, you kill it on the beat. I had to get on it."
That's
But he did,
what he should have done.
He did say it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
like that song. If you
said
weren't,
it in a way where he was
should
kind
have
of
just
like
hopped on it.
well, that
kind of giving it up.
the
to a certain
whole
degree.
tone of the hard part.
All right, time out though. All right, so let's make it a regional thing, right? What producer from Toronto you think can hang with Mustard when it comes to that BPM range?
Nah, I don't think it's a hanger or anything. I just think that.
I mean, Mustard's LA.
I don't.
Yeah, but
He's LA. You know what I mean?
But that was the whole point.
He has a sound that's all his, so
Right.
it's like you really can't really compare it.
But Drake can't
the thing
go
is,
back
he's
to it
never
like a
worked
Toronto
with Mustard
sound,
before. He's never been on a Mustard record before.
That would have been amazing.
Who?
Kendrick's
Drake?
never been on a Mustard record
Oh yeah,
before.
yeah.
That's what's so
I was
amazing
surprised
about
to find
it.
out that was Mustard's first #1 song ever.
No
Really?
way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
it's number
way.
first number one.
Yep.
Loyal was never #1.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, he has. I would have thought he had like 10 #1s.
Holy shit.
He must have like 1,000 #2s, but just never got to #1.
Way.
He has 1,000 number sevens. Like,
Yeah,
Just
I
didn't
mean
hit the top
that's
five.
crazy to me.
Because he did
For that
Faded and Rack
2010s
City
era.
too.
I mean, everything was Mustard on the beat.
None of those went number one.
That's
City was number one.
crazy.
but that's a real important aspect when you have a beef is who's making the club banger. Like,
And it's I mean, if going into it, would you have said we would if we made check boxes like, all right, who's gonna have like the better lyrics? You go Kendrick. Who's gonna have the better club record?
Yeah.
100% of people would have said Drake. The fact that Kendrick was the one that pulled that off,
Yeah.
It's like
Shocking.
you
I didn't
got
have
beat
that on my
at your
bingo
own
card.
game.
I didn't have that on my bingo card.
I'm shocked.
Yo,
Now-
remember back to back? Yo, back to back became it was fucking circulated in radio stations,
Yes.
bro.
And
That's
that
up
was
for a
a
Grammy.
man getting
yo,
murdered.
that's crazy,
wait,
bro.
was Back to Back the biggest diss club record ever?
Nah.
What was?
I would say,
You was
I would
saying
say
No Vaseline was getting run everywhere.
No Vaseline was, but it wasn't the biggest. It was like, I would say like Bridges Over. Bridges Over was really, really
True,
big.
that's true.
Bridges Over was really, really big.
But the Bridges Over get added to like a queue on a radio, like actually like a charting record. Shit gets played 5, 6, 7, 8
Well,
times a day.
Well,
I mean, it's a
then it
different
wasn't
time.
radio. The
It's a
radio
different
wasn't
time.
really-
I was gonna say, as far as that
Yeah.
that era of music,
Yeah.
back to back being played as much as it was, where it was being
Shit,
played,
South Bronx got
being
played.
a fucking diss was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Meek could not get away from that, and that's what Drake is. Drake's just sitting at home, being like, "All right, I'm just gonna watch basketball tonight. I don't want to deal with it."
Yeah.
Boom,
And
it's
then
on.
the
I mean,
hardest-
it's crazy.
The most difficult thing about Back to Back, it was played on the East Coast, West Coast. It was played around the country, internationally.
It was getting played in Toronto.
everywhere.
It was like
Everywhere.
charting in Toronto. It was crazy.
In the world, Tokyo.
I think
everywhere.
that's got to be.
I think right now, the biggest club record for
a diss song.
a diss song might be like that.
Yeah,
That's
but
not,
but
that's
it
not a diss.
but it just took
is,
over.
though.
Yo.
It is,
What
though.
it
He
is?
has a whole
Actually,
verse.
so
He has a whole verse going
technically,
off.
so is first person shooter though.
You think it's bigger than?
It's not the first.
It's not as big as it's not as big as
not
like
the club.
that.
hell
No,
I don't think Like That is as big as Not Like Us. Not Like Us, I think took just dethroned Back to Back. I think Back to Back was the biggest diss record. Like everyone was fucking playing it.
to date. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
I
was
also
the
think it's
biggest.
again, what metrics are you looking at? I
think
feel
we're
like
But
kinda
on a
caught in the
club
moment.
level, on a club level,
I
not
think
on
we're
like an
kind of caught
impact
in the
level.
moment right now.
Huh?
I think we're kind of caught in the moment because it's still fresh. It's only 2-3 weeks.
You're saying in 5 years?
I don't see.
Because we stopped playing Back to Back.
you're going to be doing that forever.
I
What?
don't.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the beat.
my
I think
brain.
the beat is going to be very memorable, but I don't believe that the diss is going to be as effective if Drake comes out with another hit in the next 2 or 3 months.
You know what's gonna start? You know what's gonna have more legs than Not Like Us? Everyone, all the DJs are saying what has more legs is BBL Drizzy.
Oh,
I was just about to bring that up.
Jesus Christ!
Like they're running
bro,
that shit like a
I-
motherfucker.
It's corny to me. It was corny. I'm sorry.
Joe,
it was corny to me. It was
That-
corny.
If that like ended up working, that is like that hurts my soul.
Yeah, it was corny to me.
I thought Metro looked like the biggest clown of this whole thing.
Yeah. Wow.
What
Like
you talk-
when
Yo,
he-
you're not playing the merengue version.
Negative.
You heard that shit?
Negative. It was corny to me.
Bang.
El Draco.
dude, when he was
It was
he went-
corny.
Telemundo de gracia.
Yo,
It was smart. It was smart, but I was like,
It
this
was
is such
corny.
a clear like you're just trying to hop on And when he went on that Twitter meltdown, and then he got exposed for saying all the same shit, it was just like
who Metro?
Yeah. Metro went on like a 10 tweet, like just he was in Amsterdam, just firing off Twitter fingers, and then everyone dug up his old tweets saying all sorts of creepy shit about young girls and shit too. And it was like,
Man.
No
just
one's
be quiet.
No one's safe.
No
man.
one's safe.
No one's safe.
Yo, that pedophile shit, man. It's like that used to be if you said that about somebody and you were
You don't
not
come back
correct.
from that shit.
Facts.
But like if you said that without proof, like you're fucked. Like that's like straight up defamation. Trust me, I know because I say a lot of crazy shit on the internet. But what that just sticks to you, and like personally, I think there's a difference between if you like young women and you are a pedophile, right? One thing is a crime, one thing is like people look down upon it. But to say, like, everywhere Drake goes now, they're just like, you are a pedophile?
Dude.
That is crazy.
MJ
step
never
away from
recovered,
this
bro.
one.
Yeah.
He never recovered. Michael
I'm
Jackson
step away
never
from this one.
He never recovered.
I'm not touching.
What do you think, Marty?
Pause. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it.
It's you know, I definitely think there was probably some business people in Drake's world that were like, we need this to end. Because we can't have this. It's already too late. It's already going to stick to you. But if we want to roll out these clothes, we want to roll out this fucking, whatever else he does.
It's weird because like I grew up in the 90s. Like, the hottest, the flyest shorty in my high school was dating like a UPS worker.
Oh shit.
She was 16. After school, and we didn't think, we weren't like, yo, this dude's like fucking robbing the cradle. He's fucking statutory rape. We were just like, he would pull up in his BMW, right? He'd be waiting for her. She's 16, maybe 17. She'd roll up, say what up, and they'd fucking drive away. Be like, damn, man,
but listen, we weren't thinking that, but we probably should have been.
Yeah.
Because that shit is creepy.
Yo, bro,
No, but that was the standard for like, at a certain point,
That's a
like,
fact.
yo, like, if you had money, you was fly in your 20s, even late 20s, they would hang out and they would pick up high school girls. It was even in that LL Cool J song, Big Old Butt. It was like a whole second verse. He's like, I love going to high school and picking up the 17-year-old. She was a baddie. She had a fat ass.
That's crazy.
I mean, granted, LL was like 19 at the time, but
That's
it was
crazy.
just, that was common. It was just a common practice
The
at
problem
that time.
for Drake is there's just like too many weird videos and stories. And I don't know what's true and what's not. But like he said Dave Free is that baby's father and you hit your girl. And that's the only person that's ever said that as far as I know.
Yeah.
Right? Kendrick says you're into weird shit with young kids, and there's this video and that date and that girl.
And the artwork, bro. The art.
Yeah, it's like it's all just like
The artwork
it all just makes you go like
with the sex offender.
You got to give it.
Yo, the artwork.
that was
He made his house and like he put like all sex offender registries.
Yo,
brutal, dude.
you got to give props to the Kendrick stans on Twitter. They really did their job.
I didn't know he had a fan base like that.
He does.
I don't think he does.
He does.
I think
I think-
they're
What, you think
the
anti
Drake haters? Yeah.
Drake haters.
I think
I believe that's more powerful. I think the Drake haters are more powerful than this whole battle.
I agree.
I mean, what rapper from LA is bigger than Kendrick right now?
There isn't.
Yeah.
There isn't.
You know what I'm saying? What rapper from LA is bigger than Kendrick or has been bigger than Kendrick in the last 10 years?
There hasn't.
You feel me? So I feel like
I mean, he was given the crown. Snoop gave him the crown, and it was like, "Yo, you be passing the torch."
But he's
to
always
you.
just been that like Grammy rap. He's winning Pulitzer prizes. Like it's
Still
just
the
been a
biggest.
different. Yeah. But I'm just saying,
still
it's
the biggest.
It's a whole different like genre,
Performed at the fucking
subgenre, right?
Super Bowl.
And then to come in and just be like, I can also do this shit too, and get real grimy. Like the dude who's kind of preaching therapy and self-healing, being on a record like, I think you should fucking die. You and Harvey Weinstein should get beat to death. Like,
yeah, but he's
I
a
did not see that coming.
real artist. You know what I mean? Like you can't. It's just like DJing, bro. You cannot put a DJ that became famous off of TikTok routines in a room with DJs like this, bro. You know, they don't know the preparation. They don't have the preparation. They don't have the resume.
and you're saying that's Drake?
And no, I'm saying that's Kendrick. Kendrick is an old soul. He went through. You know, we don't know if he battled. You know what I
Right,
mean.
right,
We don't know if like he would walk with his boy. Yo, spit your 15. You're 16. I'll spit my 16. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Kendrick is one of them. Kendrick
Right.
was like those dudes that did his research. He just didn't get famous overnight. You know what I mean?
Right.
So with those dudes, you got to be careful with, bro, because you don't know like. preparation met opportunity. You know what I mean? Like he's like that, bro. You know, Cole is like that. You know, Drake is like that. You know, I mean, he might have 1,000,001 writers and ghostwriters and all that, but yo, the man is prepared, bro. You know what I mean? Like the man did his research, he did his homework. He's hip hop. He's a rapper.
I think in this battle he didn't. That it feels like he didn't.
No,
right?
Like
you know, like I don't.
He's too busy being the biggest artist in the world, bro.
I feel like there has to have been one person in his camp that should have been saying, I think we might be underestimating Kendrick Lamar a little bit, bro. Like, we need to get back in the booth. We need to get back. We need this. We need that. Like, I don't know if the talk about him having, like, moles in his camp is true, but it feels like he definitely doesn't have the right guys in his camp.
I think what happened with the whole Drake thing, I don't think he did anything wrong. I think it's one of those things where it's like unstoppable force against an immovable object.
Bro, I'll tell you something he did wrong. That line about freeing the slaves was a very bad misstep. I think that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
I don't believe that.
For a guy his opponent brought race into it, and then you say something about freeing the slaves, which is something that my people would say that your people would not like.
That's crazy.
That's just ammo for Kendrick.
I can see your point. I think that with the AI, I think that the Pac thing, I think all of those things were used as negatives against Drake.
Yeah.
And had it been flipped,
genius, brilliant, innovative, yada yada. Yep.
There was no way that you would not say that, you know, Kendrick, he put himself.
Taylor Made was so good though.
He put himself because look, if you listen to it, it's a Dre type sounding beat.
Yeah.
You got Snoop, Tupac, and if it would have been Kendrick, it would have been like, he's on Mount Rushmore, he's the West Coast.
The best was when Snoop goes, the AI Snoop goes, nephew.
Oh man!
I was like, this is
doing
so
AI for a guy who's still alive is hilarious.
Yo, no, but imagine
even Snoop could have ate on. He was like,
imagine Kendrick would have did one with Nipsey, bro.
But you got to look at it. He did the video where he's everybody's face in the video.
Yeah,
and he's Kobe, he's OJ.
That's true.
This is that.
That's true.
It's like
why is that praised?
Why is that okay for you to do that?
Because people hate Drake.
But this guy's not able to do that. It's like, we're moving the goalposts.
So
don't you think, the goalposts.
I think for Drake, the worst part about this is how willing people were to move the goalposts. Like I'm sure you could kind of hear it in his voice where like he was like exhausted from it because everything he says didn't matter, and everything Kendrick said was genius.
It was like
and
he was just fighting the battle.
He couldn't win. He was set up for failure.
I also feel like the anti-Drake crowd was so much louder than the pro-Drake crowd. You would think that when an artist like this gets into a battle, like you look at what Taylor Swift fans do, they fucking rally, right?
But
like
the
there was the Beehive, the Monsters, the Rihanna Army, whatever.
Yeah.
All these the Drake Hive, whatever it's called, they were nowhere.
Yeah, but the Kendrick Hive, the Kendrick stands have incel energy.
Yeah. Oh, I hate them. I fucking hate them.
And Kendrick kind of has incel energy.
Totally. I think, he's got Napoleon. He's 5'7".
Everyone who's listening to Drake is happy. They're not online. Mm-hmm. They're fucking. They're outside.
Yep. You got a lot of people being like, he's an artist. He's deep. You don't understand it.
Kendrick is incel fucking energy. Now, if you had Cole in what I would have thought would have been very interesting if Cole got into this, like really got into it,
if he stood on
and
business.
he had his back against the wall, and he had to swing at every motherfucking body. His fucking incel fan base. Cole has a bigger incel fan base.
The incels versus the incels eat each other. They wouldn't know what to do.
All right, I'm going on record.
Yeah.
The last time we were here, we talked about Cole, and I said that he was very mature.
Yeah, you're
Stepped
right.
away.
You were right.
Yeah.
And he would look better through this battle after it happened or it didn't happen. This right now is showing that Cole still has a place. And people are going to say, oh, well, he backed out. But look what it turned into.
Got ugly. Yeah. Got ugly. If you have, your own life and your own family and you're like, I don't want anybody fucking with my family members like they're about to, there is some honor in that, I guess.
And then on top of that,
also,
look at all the shit that happened afterwards. People showing up to this dude's house, people getting shot.
I feel like that's kind of brushed over, by the way.
Crazy.
Yeah, you would have thought, because everyone, to start the beef, everybody was saying what's so good about this is
it's only lyrics. It's only going to be lyrics.
These are 3 MCs that they're going to keep it, above board. And now
Clark was right. Clark Kent was right.
Yeah.
It always goes to some street shit after a while.
Yeah, because you know what? Rap has too big of an ego.
Right.
Unless it's just like, I'm going to rap better than you can rap and let the people judge that. Once you start slinging mud, there's no MC that's gonna just keep it on wax. People are gonna get fucking.
Yo, bro, but he lives in Toronto though. That's the shit that like boggles my mind, bro. It's like if Drake lived in LA. Like, we knew his shit was going to get shot up, bro. Pause. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? We knew it was going to happen.
But didn't he just sell, like, his LA house?
He lives in Toronto, bro.
Yeah. He just sold his LA house, though.
Dude, he's got people, like, multiple nights.
You wouldn't? You wouldn't?
I mean...
You wouldn't?
Yo, that line that Kendrick says, that Oakland stop might be your last, like, what is he going to do when he has a West Coast swing now?
Such a great line.
So, yeah,
I think that's kind of irresponsible, though, to tell you absolute truth.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, because he's kind of like summoning the goons.
Kendrick does not care.
Kendrick is the Joker.
Yo, he was not the artsy. He said, if you keep it here, I'm going to keep it here. And if you go further, I'm unleashing it. And
I'm thinking this guy wins the Pulitzer Prize, and we're thinking that it's going to be rapidy, rap. And we got none of that. We got none of that.
But you know what? That's not how you win a battle. You go gutter to win a battle.
That's a fact.
You know?
I mean, an eye for an eye, right?
If you're going to try to play it like, well, let me say some shit, but not really offend, and I don't want it to get too dangerous, you will lose the battle.
Yeah,
now you might be the mature person, but you will lose the battle.
Drake could have won if he did one thing.
What?
Shot Kendrick.
The collabo with Silk the Shaka.
That's
how you win.
You know what?
That's how you win.
As far as collabs, my mind always, when I see this shit, I always think about in terms of wrestling, like WWF shit. If he could have got Cole to come back into the battle, like some shit where you hear the glass shatter and Stone Cold comes running down. If there was something where Cole was like, fuck it, I'm back in. Because at that point, once Kendrick was running up the score, Drake needed to do something. Either like jump on like Not Like Us or do something that was oh shit.
Sweet chin music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it how the Rick Ross record just completely got brushed off. Like the Rick Ross record has zero fucking legs, yo.
For the record, people want to say that Drake is 1-3 or 1-2 in battles. Wrong. He washed ASAP.
Like that.
He washed Weekend. He washed Rick Ross in his battle.
Yeah.
I think he spent more time getting those guys out of the paint that he didn't really concentrate on Kendrick.
Well, that's a fact. I mean, when half of your verse is not dedicated to the guy you're technically battling.
There's so much he could have said about Kendrick. There's just so much, like, I feel like he didn't have the right people around him it was getting too much about, well, let's find like the inner dirt, when you could just like literally look at his music and it's like you like
talk about his
just
numbers.
Literally he has one of the worst voices in hip hop.
That he sounds like he's crying all the time.
Yeah. You know who does a better Kendrick version than Kendrick is JID from Dreamville. If you listen to Dreamville JID, I'd rather like he does a better Kendrick Lamar than Kendrick.
But you know what we said? I think we talked about this last time. After the Pusha battle, it's not about like clever punchline jokes. I'm clowning on you. It's about dirt.
All right, where do we go from here?
It's all dirt.
Where do we go from here?
Well, they said Drake's working on music and all of this shit.
No, he has to. Of course he has to.
What he needs to do is put out a banger and not even focus. Don't talk about Kendrick.
More than likely is going to come out with an album maybe within the next month or so. He has to.
You got to ride the wave.
He has to. He has the number one record out.
There's going to be a lot of people who like Not Like Us who's going to go listen to Kendrick's new album and go, what?
Let's be honest. After 100%. After Kendrick dropped Euphoria, remember we were in a group chat and I was like, I don't know if Drake could come back after this. And then Kev was like, yo, you weak-hearted motherfucker.
Yeah, you jumped ship so quickly, bro. You were Team Drake with me.
Because I was like, Euphoria.
And he was like, it's done.
Euphoria was kind of like, I was like, he's saying a lot of shit. It's some of the shit we've heard, but, you know, it's a good record. But
well, Euphoria, I think, at the time, I was like, I don't think that's going to get it done, but it almost set the stage. Like, he called his shots kind of like, here's what's going to happen.
It was the first shot.
I think that for you being in a situation where you're taking subliminals for almost 10 years and you come out with Euphoria, it wasn't as impressive because it's like, dude, you've been poking the bear for an awful long time. You're going to come out with this?
But that's the record where he was saying, if you take it there, I'm going to take it.
But at that point, it's a warning shot after you said fuck the big three. It's like another warning shot?
It was still a masterful display of lyricism. That's what it was. It was just a really great display of lyricism.
Debatable.
As annoying as it... as annoying
Allegedly.
as annoying as Kendrick's voice is, and I fucking hate his voice. I hate crying Kendrick, sobbing Kendrick. I hate that fucking
Screaming Kendrick.
I hate that
alien voices
I
and
hate
shit,
that
all that.
mode.
Yep.
But when he gets in the pocket, he's fucking nasty. But
And
Drake,
even throughout it though, like you don't know nothing about that. He always had these little things that were catchy enough where people were saying that.
Yeah, but the A minor line was crazy.
I think
that was the
gut punch.
biggest. I think the
biggest
biggest
bar from the whole thing.
I think the biggest point of this whole battle was the fact that he had a smoker out in the streets before the battle even started. That Like That record still has so much impact because he has a hot record out right now. It's like you kind of started the game +2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and then
enough.
Drake's starting at like -5
Yeah,
because
because you got to think about it. If
Future was involved.
you're 5 years away from really the action, and you come back and you got this smoker, and then all of a sudden you jump into a battle, but you still have that smoker out. So it kind of gives you an advantage.
if you look
you
at
hit the ground running with that.
If you look at the numbers right now, right?
Yeah.
Kendrick has number 1, Not Like Us, right? Number 3 is Euphoria,
Right.
And number 6 is Like That, and number 12 is Meet the Grams. He's got 4 records and like that are the
and you
top
know what?
streaming records.
All those Drake fans will say like, "You're welcome," you know, like
Yeah.
Drake like gave you this, but it's like, fuck, like you can't play that card where it's like. It's like, yeah, but I smashed you. You know what I mean?
You can play. You can kind of
Drake is
play that
coming up
card
with
a little
so-
bit.
You
a
can,
little bit.
You can
a little
try.
bit.
You can spin it, but it's like
'Cause Kendrick-
if I call you out to like. If I'm a rookie and I call out the veteran and then I get all the attention, right?
Yeah.
And then we play one-on-one and I smash you. It's like, yeah, I got this popularity, but then I fucking destroyed you at your own game.
Drake is coming up for tour though, so that has a little bit.
I got it. I got the perfect comparison.
Excuses for a losing team.
Time out. I got the perfect comparison right now.
Go ahead.
This battle is Khabib and McGregor.
Okay.
This battle is
Keep
Khabib.
going.
This battle is Khabib and McGregor.
Yes.
Whatever. So McGregor
Yes.
being Drake, right?
Yes.
McGregor being Drake, where when McGregor and Khabib fought, McGregor could do no wrong, but we knew he was deteriorating as an artist, as a fighter. He was getting old. He was beat the fuck up.
He was comfortable.
He was comfortable. He was making mad fucking money. And let's be honest, he didn't have to fight Khabib. Drake didn't have to battle. Drake could have said nothing
right,
and
so-
still been the biggest fucking artist in the
Right.
world.
So who
and
won the
Khabib's
fight?
like battling bears in Russia.
And
getting ready.
Khabib is fucking wrestling bears and fucking
I didn't see this fight, so who won?
Khabib won.
Khabib, like it was
Destroyed him.
Conor McGregor at his peak popularity.
Yeah.
And then this dude Khabib is just this like grimy motherfucker from like Kazakhstan or some shit.
Yeah.
He smoked him.
Yeah,
and it was
but-
like pride cometh before
Yeah,
the fall
but
type
he
shit.
was like a super Muslim guy, super religious, didn't drink, didn't nothing. McGregor would show up to the fucking to the press conferences,
Talking about his
wasted,
wife and shit.
talking about his wife.
Yeah.
Dragged out.
It's actually a very good
Yeah, he'll
analogy.
come. He'll be like, "Salam alaikum," like, and you don't say that shit. Like when you know what I mean. Like it's just completely disrespectful. So like, I feel like that's the best comparison
and
because
Khabib was like, "I will humble you."
Yeah.
I will. Like he kept it. Like he didn't say much, and then he just
For our
handled his
generation,
shit.
maybe Tyson and Buster Douglas or something. Like, you know,
Nah,
like a upset.
No, Kendrick busted
it'll be more like a Tyson and Lennox Lewis.
Kendrick is Buster Douglas. You know.
Buster Douglas is crazy.
Yo, Buster Douglas had a video game. He had a video game.
Did?
Yeah, he
Get the
did.
fuck out.
It didn't do well.
Yo, that's
it's like
fucking
Buster
hilarious.
Douglas.
You don't
Buster
say.
Douglas is like punch out, knockout.
You know what I'm saying? It came out on DreamCube on the bootleg game
That's
system.
fucked up. Jesus Christ.
Yo, I also, I don't know what's true and what's not. And I think that's weird that like if there's just no facts matter in battle raps now, it's like, well, then you can just make up whatever you want, whatever. That's weird. On Meet the Grams, Kendrick is when he's like, fuck a rap battle. This is like you're battling for your life. When he's like, you're 37, you're paying for sex, you're bad with money, you're bad with drugs. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, that's some shit that Drake probably was listening to, and deep down somewhere he wouldn't want to admit, he's probably going like, fuck, you're right. If all that's true. When you're pushing 40 and it's like you're still doing all that same shit, I don't know.
I mean, what is he supposed to do? What are you supposed to do when you're the
Kendrick
biggest?
Time-
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird because
Kendrick timed this battle right before his midlife crisis.
yeah. Because listen, if these guys are both 25, it's like, yeah, man, I'm fucking all the girls in the world and I got all the money in the world.
You know what?
But when you're 40 and you're still doing all the same shit you were doing when you were 25,
I actually believe it because of those. There's like videos of bitches on Instagram and like, we were at Drake's Christmas party and I won a G-Wagon. Like, bitch, what? Like,
you know what the weirdest thing I saw on this whole thing was? There was a compilation of every city Drake went to, like on tour. He would rent out Dave & Buster's.
What?
For like himself. And that was the first time I was like, maybe some of this pedophile dogs.
No. Dave & Buster's is a pretty chill date night. You know what I mean? Like,
To rent it out so you have it all to yourself though, and there's games
but
and
they have,
shit.
they have like, they play music. And
yeah.
shit like that,
I just think that's so weird.
because he did it in New York. He did it in New York, and
and
there was a lot of girls there. It was
Yeah.
like amazing.
Regular shit.
That's like Drake's Wonderland, right?
That's what
the
I
Wonderland Ranch.
The Neverland Ranch. That was the first thing I thought of.
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Piper's crazy.
You're a grown man right now. Dave & Buster's everywhere you go. I don't know.
Now, if they have R.
Drake
Kelly,
don't want to
if they
grow
have
up. He
R.
don't want to
Kelly
grow
playing,
up. Drake doesn't want to grow up. Drake didn't have a childhood. He
When
wants
did
to rent
Cricket
out
turn into
David
fucking Dave Chappelle?
nah. But to answer your question,
Goldie's like, that's a good date night spot, though. You know?
you're trying to dig for
Yo, the
validity.
poor girls getting goalies dating, man. You're taking them to Dave & Buster's.
But to
Come on.
answer your question, Goldie, I don't think nothing's gonna happen to Drake, bro. Real talk. Like, unless there's like.
You mean like career wise?
Yeah.
I think
he's astronomical, bro. He's out of here, bro.
There are
he's
so
on
many
a
people who don't
different
care about this
stratosphere.
shit.
Yeah, nobody cares. You know what I mean?
Hip hop people will maybe look at it differently.
I don't know for sure. It's just that jacket. It's a very hard jacket.
That pedophile jacket.
That pedophile jacket is.
I think it'll be different, but I don't think it's like career ending.
Care. I don't think these girls care.
But he's got to fucking clean up his act.
Michael Jackson came out with that album, Blood on the Dance Floor. They said he was a pedophile, and nobody ever heard that album.
True.
I don't even know what that is. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I know that.
Point
And
exactly.
he's fucking Michael Jackson.
My
But
point
I also
exactly.
feel like there was more. Like it's the perfect for Kendrick. It's the perfect amount of evidence. That's like, it's not really evidence, but it's pointing in a direction. You know what I mean?
I think what's
there's no smoking gun the way Michael Jackson had.
I think in this climate, it's interesting to see the truth does not matter at all in any aspect of life.
It became politics, man.
In internet, in politics, in anything with the internet and life right now, the truth does not fucking matter at all. It's all about the story that
How
you
well you
tell,
spin it.
how well you tell your version of
Or
the story.
don't tell. Or don't tell.
Or don't tell.
Oh, you know what's another thing too? I think the power of the pylon is
Of an angry
unmatched.
mob. Of an
The
angry mob.
thing.
Mob mentality.
The mob mentality is very important in these days.
And that's what happened to Drake.
And he just got
On an
once
industry
the blood
level?
was in the water, it was like attack.
I mean, yo, bro, I even hate to touch the subject, but
Hey, yo.
what kind of pause? What makes it like pedophile? You know what I mean? I mean, do the math. Like, if he's like De Niro's wife is like 40 years old, De Niro's 90 years old, bro.
Yeah.
Is he a pedophile?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, no. That's why. If Drake's like, fucking with girls who are like 22 years old, 20 years old, I personally, as a 40-year-old, would never do that. Right? Like,
Right.
I think that's weird. It's not illegal. It's not. You
Right.
know what I mean? That's not.
DiCaprio
pedophilia,
does it. DiCaprio does it.
Right. And,
Is he a
and
pedophile?
people like talk about him like, hey, that's a little unsavory, but they don't say he's a pedophile. This is like, you are accusing this guy of fucking, pedophilia I think means like you're fucking like an 8-year-old.
A child, an actual child, bro. Like, they're like, oh, you were fucking with Lotto's sister. Lotto's sister's 21 years old, bro.
Right. Like that. It
She's
might
a
be,
fucking adult.
You might disagree with that, but that's not
It's not only that,
illegal.
it's like in Canada, I think legal at some point was 16 and then 17, and then in some states in this country it's 16.
16,
like,
yeah.
Like it's
But
just,
like,
it's
I don't
all
want to.
weird.
I'm not trying to defend because I
No.
do
Neither.
think
It's-
that's fucking
it's
creepy.
weird. It's weird.
But
100%.
and that's where like he's done enough weird shit with the video with the girl on stage and the supposed date.
How old
he
was
had
the girl
with that
though? How old was the girl though?
She
was
said
17.
she was 17, turning 18 that night.
She was turning 18 that night.
So he just got like
Yeah, I
bad
mean,
place,
you're-
wrong place, wrong
yeah, you're
time. He got
flirting with
fucked.
disaster there.
I think what's more important is the fact that this guy was on an 87-city tour, comes off the tour, and everybody in the industry attacks him.
Yeah.
I think that has some, it's kind of spooky.
But I think he
No,
I think he
I know what you
thought
mean.
like I'm gonna jump in the booth and smash these guys though.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
no,
think-
but I'm
I
just
mean,
saying,
now
just the fact that the shit from 1 week to the next week.
Yeah, it just went
It just
0 to 100.
flipped, and he never saw it coming.
It went 0
Like,
to 100. You see what I did there? It went 0 to 100 real quick.
Brilliant.
No, but I
You know,
think
it's different if you can sell out 87 cities, and it's like all of these people like me, white, black, young, old, girl, guy, Canadian, American, all that shit. But if in your industry, where amongst your peers, if there's whispers and now openly speaking, people are like, "Fuck that guy," and they all agree. You could sell out 1,087 cities.
But
at the end of the day, he goes home and he wants to be respected by other rappers.
Here's the truth, though. Like, the Future Metro tour went out, and they could barely sell half the tickets.
I heard they're canceling like left and right,
Yeah.
right?
So, like, it doesn't really fucking matter in the end. But they did their damage. They did everything they could. I want to talk to you guys and say, is this the best rap beef battle of all time in history?
That's just relative. It's like
you think so?
I would say
It's
so, but
relative.
I
This
feel
is
like
on. This is
I mean,
on
there's
like.
so many different factors, though.
This is on like Channel 4 News.
I mean,
yeah, that's crazy. And also, we've never had, I don't think at least, this many songs. Like this was a
fact.
5
This
or
is like
6
an
back and
EP.
That's
forth.
Yeah, I don't think
you
so.
can
know?
literally create an EP.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
You can create
Big
an
and
album.
Pac, they can say, "Oh, that was the biggest battle. That was,
was
the
like 2
best battle."
songs.
If
But
this was
nobody
20
ever really responded.
If this was
Like,
20 years ago,
that technically wasn't even like a rap battle. If you think about it.
Yo, if this
you
was
know?
20 years ago, 100, 1,000%, the Africans would have made a CD out of this and sold them
Sold
shit.
Yeah.
I'm lying?
Canal Street.
I'm lying?
Yeah.
Facts.
This shit, you would have seen this shit in Nigeria,
Yeah.
bro.
Yo,
Like,
fam,
yo, bro.
The T-shirts, the bootleg T-shirts
Yes.
would have been everywhere.
Yes. Yo,
With, like,
bro.
And it
Drake in the
was-
front, Kendrick in the back, Kendrick in
A
the front,
whole album.
Drake in the back.
A whole album, bro.
Facts.
A whole album.
Yeah.
I think it changes battling forever in the sense of we talk so much about being on the clock, and these guys showed that like when the chips are down and you really want to do it, these guys can put out records.
I don't think this is going to
Like
happen
that.
again.
Yeah, I don't think so neither.
You know why? Because I think that
This is
this
Like-
was a
like
perfect.
no
this is a
beef?
perfect storm because it's like I don't think there's going to be anybody that's going to be worthy of getting somebody that mad to where it's 10 other people that's willing to jump this one guy.
Well,
Maybe,
that's
maybe
where we
Bad
gonna-
Bunny.
where we gonna
Maybe,
get that?
maybe Bad Bunny, but they're not doing that. They're not doing that.
Where are we
why-
gonna get that?
That's the last thing that Drake can cling to is I'm the only guy that could have made this happen.
This is the
If
Avengers
Kendrick could
shit.
have put out these same exact records against Future, Rick, whoever,
And it wouldn't have mattered as much.
hip hop heads would have been like, wow, that was cool. Drake made this thing a national fucking story on the news.
Yeah.
And he took a fat L, but I do think at the end of the day, when the dust settles a little bit, I think there's honor in like you battled, you lost like a motherfucker,
Right.
but you battled. That's why I still think J. Cole has a little bit of work to do because he bowed out. But Drake, like, there's always going to be a winner and a loser in a battle.
Yo, Thanos is coming back into the MCU. I just want you to know.
this is Endgame though. This is Endgame.
This was
here's my
Endgame.
theory, though.
This is Endgame.
Here's my
Drake
theory.
is inevitable, and they do the snap.
They all have
They have to jump him.
Here's my theory, though.
We just gotta wait for Secret Wars. Secret Wars is gonna be
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That's when you're gonna see everyone against each
Here's
other.
my theory, though. Hip hop was mad stagnant for a long
Right.
time, for at least 6 months. Hip hop. There was
At least- I
there
mean,
was there
you
was
know.
no #1 hip hop record
All year,
for-
right?
Yeah, all year.
So what's this a scam?
So I think
Was this a scam?
So I think, bro, again, in a battle, yo, niggas was getting jumped when they was playing Tupac in the club. Like the DJs, bro, they were beating DJs up mid-set, bro, mid-set. You got Mustard, who produced the biggest record, still playing Drake in the club. They can't hate him that much,
Yeah.
bro.
So I was going to
They
ask you about
cannot
that.
hate him
like,
that much. They
I don't
cannot
know.
hate him that much.
I think if you play enough Drake in the wrong spot
No.
in LA, you could get.
I
you
don't
could
think
get-
so.
You
I
could
don't
get
think so.
booed or you could get possibly.
I
fucked
think
up.
I think it was.
I think they're having a moment right now. I think that's going to last because Rick
You don't
Ross
think it's gonna
still-
be all summer?
Rick Ross,
This is the song of the summer.
Rick Ross is performing right now.
Yeah.
he still has 25 to 30% of his set list Drake songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
How mad can I really be when
Exactly.
I'm? You know what I mean?
That's what bothers me about the when Kendrick took the colonizer angle, while that was very well like laid out. Like those guys were just as happy to collaborate with him and get those #1 records. Like unless that ran dry and he knows.
But it
more.
has.
But this is-
But it has.
but
And
this
that's
is-
why they have never explained what
Right.
the beef was.
So the
it's like
beef-
everybody turned on him and they never explained it.
But doesn't that just
Is
make
it-
you think he's a fucking dick?
No.
is
The
it
beef
conf-
is that
so. I
everyone
think it's
stopped
envy.
getting a plate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
That's
think
what
it's
it is.
envy.
Is that when When Drake was like, everyone was getting fed.
Stimulus
Rick
package.
Ross was getting fed.
Yeah.
It was like everyone had a plate. Everyone was eating good, and then all of a sudden Drake was like just eating good.
Yeah, but we
He
also
should've
everyone's
hammered that angle.
And then Rick Ross was like, "Yo, I need a record. Why are you just giving records to Khaled?
Yeah, I mean, we also-
why are you just giving records to this dude?
You're fucking with sexy
and
Red.
then-
Yo, we
and
did
then-
an album together. Future, we did an album together.
And now
Why you
you-
doing an album with this guy?
20. Now you on tour with 21,
Right.
Exactly.
And now
So-
Cole is with you. Like
Right.
you ain't
Yeah.
feeding me.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I'm Future. I'm
Right.
your
But
boy.
then he should have just. He said that with one or two lines. You know, he should have hammered.
But
that.
he's been saying that for the
Instead of
last
that-
3-4 albums. He
Yeah.
like, I'm stopped giving out.
I know.
Yeah, but
I
we
think
also
it would have been
think-
better than. Like, is there any proof to the wife beating and the kid? Like, there's nothing.
doesn't matter
there.
and doesn't.
Yeah,
But
don't
it does
matter.
matter if you don't have. If he had rabid fans saying it's true, but he didn't have that.
I mean, fam, like he has a fiance for 9 years. This seems a little rocky already.
Yeah.
9-year fiance, and
Yeah.
they're not
But
like.
it's
you know?
weird that Kendrick can
And
play
then the fiance's like giving herself a happy birthday.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
We also got to acknowledge the fact that Drake didn't put absolutely everybody on. Like, because when Dice Pineapples came on, that was Rick putting Drake on. That record was Rick Ross's record, not Drake's record.
Allegedly.
No, it was though. It was.
I mean, Dice Pineapple was. Drake was already
but
lit
listen,
on a mixtape.
no, but at the
in the
time,
big picture,
Rick
bro-
Ross was the bigger commercial artist.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
He had a Grammy off the mixtape, bro.
I don't know, man. I feel like that was Ross's record.
No. I'm talking about So Far Gone.
Oh no, I know
Already-
So Far, yeah, right. But I'm saying, like those early Rick and Drake collaborations, those were Rick's records.
Bro, it's such a shame
They
because
were.
they're so good
They
together.
were, but it's still co-signed by Drake, bro.
And then not only that, Drake made those songs hits.
He made those songs hit.
100%. But technically, on paper, that was Rick putting.
Oh, it was
Drake
his.
on.
It was his
Yeah,
record, but
yeah, it's Rick Ross
but
featuring
is
Drake,
it
not
really
Drake
Rick?
featuring.
If I do a record with Jay-Z, is it really my record?
True.
Is
Yeah, it does not
really?
matter who's featuring, who's on the. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, Ross had a run though.
You gotta- you
Ross
also-
had a run.
you also
Oh, no,
gotta-
he had
At the time,
records.
he had a run.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
2007 to 2010. Ross had a run.
Yeah, he definitely did.
He had a run. So
Here's the thing, like everyone talks shit about certain artists, like Drake and this. Like Drake did songs with Block Boy. Who was that dude? Block Boy.
Black Boy JB or whatever. Yeah.
Like he never had a record after that, right? But
Smiley
then-
too. Smiley Never.
Yeah, nothing. So like, but then you look at artists like Gunna and Young Thug, and then like, oh, without Young Thug, where's Gunna gonna be? We're like, what's Gunna? Gunna's proven that he's actually an artist,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Lil
so
Baby fell off.
well, I mean, yeah, I don't. But and so like when you look at certain artists and you look at Rick Ross, he should have been able to kind of, if he should have
Rick
been
Ross
able
hasn't
to come
had a
off.
hit in a while.
Yeah.
That's true.
He should have been able to come off.
That's very
And if they're for being in the industry in hip hop that long, you got to have Rick Ross stands, and they're not really there. They're not
Yeah.
really present. You know what I mean? It's not like that.
Yeah, I mean, not even Miami's really riding with him, bro.
what you think he's gonna respond to Game? Because Game went.
Oh, Game
hard
is
on
so
him.
irrelevant,
bro.
Game
But
is
he
so
went in on him. Like you can ignore that, but
Yeah, I feel like Game is like the laughing stock of hip hop right now. Like everybody laughs at him. Like yo, bro.
Kind of went in on him though.
Yeah, nah, he went. I mean,
I
he's
feel
a
like,
rapper.
yo,
he can rap.
yo,
but
he-
we
And
not
there's
taking that
history
away from
there.
him.
There's history. You know.
if Ross was real quick to throw something together for Drake, and nobody talked about it,
Nah,
but
Schultz-
he
There's
responded
There's
quick
history
to that.
because Game did have the joint with Meek and kind of
Let me
there
tell
is
you
history
something.
there.
Schultz and as
hard.
much as I fucking hate academics, I fucking can't stand that man. I hate his existence.
Why?
He's just, to me, he's like a glorified couch potato, bro. I fucking
He caught a key.
that guy.
He's got some legal trouble.
Yeah,
Apparently, he's doing
good.
some grimy
But he's
shit.
another
Allegedly.
fucking
I think
douchebag.
he
Anyway.
came off the most in this whole.
Oh, 100%. But him and Schultz had a very valid
I think hip hop
point.
media. Hip hop
Nah,
media.
it ain't no hip hop media.
No. Everyone who covers hip hop and like
the streamers, bro.
all the podcasts. Elliot Wilson came the fuck off of this.
YN.
Yeah. Even
but-
DJ Head, Joe
oh,
Buttons.
Nah, but here's a
Yo, fam, I've never seen a recap clip from the Rory and Mal podcast ever. And you know what I'm saying?
But did anybody have something shock when they showed up? Let's get to the real.
Wait. I want to ask y'all. I want to do this with y'all real
Hold
quick.
on, let me
Pause.
finish. Let me finish this
go
thing.
ahead. Okay, go ahead.
No, so remember everybody's saying like, yo, nobody has a reason. Nobody has a reason. It's bitches, bro. This is what it
Oh,
is.
it's always
They're
women,
just
man.
fighting over bitches, bro. Is women pillow talking talking. And this is what Academics said. Academics was like, yo, I fucked a girl who told me that Metro Boomin can't stand Drake. You know what I mean? And this is what it is women instigating this whole thing, bro. It's the same
crazy
100 video vixens that they passing around, the shorties from Starlets, you know what I mean? That is talking and is creating this drama, bro.
These rappers need to go to different places to find women. They need to go to the library. They need to go to church.
They gotta go to church.
They need to
100%
stop.
church.
You know what it is?
Getting
They
the
need to
same
just
thirsty
stop
thotties.
telling them their fucking secrets and their business.
Fact.
You can fuck
But-
all the same girls.
but
Stop
powerful-
talking
They're
to
for
them.
sale. They're
But you
for sale.
can't. Powerful men want to be vulnerable.
Especially in
Powerful
rap, bro,
men.
when you have an ego like a motherfucker,
Yeah.
and then you like this girl, you're in bed with her, you're
Yeah.
like, I can finally talk about my
Right.
son.
I know.
I don't think Donald Trump is pillow talking, B.
I could come back from war. Yes, he is.
I don't think so.
Yes, he
I don't
is.
think so. I don't think so.
Maybe pillow talking to himself or something. I
yeah.
don't, but if I come back from war and I just killed 50 men, and I
got
come
your-
down, I
your-
come
your
to my warm,
girl.
soft bed, my wife, and she's coddling. I'd be like, it was so hot out there.
She's not your wife, though.
And I'd be like, yo, and I was like, yo, even if she's my side shorty, I was fighting with Goldie and Marty was such a pain, man. He wouldn't stop complaining. Goldie kept stealing all my kills. You know, I'm telling her everything. I'm telling her. Kev wouldn't shut the fuck up. Every time something went off, Kev was eating, and we were there fighting. You know, and then all of a sudden, you know, like she's just hearing everything.
Bro, everybody complains about work to their girl. Come on, this is just
That's a
rap.
fact.
All men
You know?
want to be the most powerful dudes. Want to be the most vulnerable. They
Nurtured,
want to find
nurtured.
someone they could be vulnerable with,
Right.
and empty their whole clip of stress out on.
Money and women, man. That's the only real thing you're gonna be fighting.
You can't do that with a bartender from Starlets, bro.
If a man doesn't have options with a trustworthy woman around him, they're gonna pick almost any woman to do that with.
Yeah, you are the most
Especially when they're
trustworthy,
young,
but that doesn't mean
especially
shit.
when they're young. And these women that they're lying down with are professional hustlers. They're making the rappers feel like they are the one. They're the only one. You're the most powerful. Oh my God, you're the best, baby.
Stroke an ego for that dough.
Stroking the ego. That's why they all
Yep.
feed into it. Like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm the one. And then when they think I'm the one, and be like, wait, Goldie hit that?
Yeah. Yeah,
And then
mind you, they're
Goldie was like
burping
that.
up the
I
couch
would-
potato.
And then Goldie
blogger
comes to
or
me
whatever.
like, nah, have fun. You good.
Allegedly.
You good.
Allegedly. Debatable.
Goldie comes to me like, she do that thing to you yet? I'll be like,
You know the
no,
thing?
she didn't
She
do
put her
that.
leg right here. You know the thing when she put her leg right here?
You'd be like, that's month four.
Jesus Christ.
But you took her to Carbone yet? Oh, that's why. That's why
That's
she
why.
didn't do it. That's why she didn't do it. You took her.
Yo, and
you took her to
especially
catch.
now, like I'm sure that happened forever in the game. But now with the internet, they all can connect and talk, and you know what I mean. Like you might have had rappers telling secrets back then, but they don't talk, they don't connect. Now you can just put it on this. Put it
Also,
on that.
these dudes don't have game.
Another
They don't need
thing,
that.
They don't have
Slide
game.
into DMs.
They don't need to.
They want to
just-
be able to walk in a room and then
You and
have
you.
every. Yep, that's it.
and then you have people that's following them on IG, like scoundrels and
Right,
shit,
right.
that are able to
Who's
put shit
following,
together.
who's liking, who's
Yeah,
doing it. Yeah,
because- yeah.
Dave
Would you
Free
call them
likes.
scoundrels?
Back in the day, you had to wait for the rapper to get to the city, to get to your city. You know what I
Now,
mean?
the
Now,
mystery is
calling, calling a woman a scoundrel is crazy.
that is
They
crazy.
are. They're scoundrels. That's a great way to put it, man.
I don't even know that word. That word's not even in my vocabulary.
Fucking scoundrels.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? All you scoundrels y'all need to
Yo,
leave.
that's hilarious.
That's kind of how I picture Drake. Like I picture him like he got stepped on with Meet the Grams and he didn't realize what's going on. He's like slamming the doors, being like, "Everybody out! All you hoes out! I gotta go back to
He
work."
just said it, man. I think he sang it.
Wow.
I think he sang it.
Scoundrels gotta go. Dude, that's got to be the biggest ego check ever. Whether you think maybe you won or like, I'm sure Drake is sitting there going, none of this is true. Why do you believe it? At the end of the day, everyone's calling it for Kendrick, and no one's defending you.
You know what I
That's a
would have
big ego check.
What I would have done if I was like an HBO producer, I would have called both camps and I'm like, I'm gonna give you both $2 million and $2 million. I need y'all to set up cameras
Film
in the studio
shit. Yeah.
and film everything.
Oh.
I want to make a documentary in 5 years.
Amazing.
I won't leak any of the footage. Just give me all. I want to see you guys talking about, responding, reacting to the records. And in 5 years, I make a document. Imagine a documentary
Seeing
of
real
this whole
time
thing.
of the
real time.
like because they run to the internet and listen just like everybody else, right? Like I got to hear what I'm up against.
Hearing the other 6 Kendrick songs that he didn't release.
Yeah.
Looking at Drake,
well, you know what? That's why I think Drake saying that he fed the information was the biggest lie ever told, because they would have done that. If I had a whole plan to leak information,
Had to be some type of proof. Had to be.
and the fact that he ran to Instagram right away and said, "No, I don't have a daughter," that would not be your initial response. You would let it sit and you would wait, and then you would put out a song and a video, being like, "Yo, here we are. It's May 1st or whatever the date was. I'm about to go tell Crooked. He's gonna go tell her," and she, you would lay that all out and drop that, and that would be the nuclear bomb. That would be the hammer.
But that's also the problem with Drake is he should never let anyone know what he's thinking, and he was reacting to shit in real time too quickly.
You can't
He's
be
human,
reactive.
bro. He's
No.
Nah,
You
he's
don't need to
emotional. He's emotional.
You don't need to react to nothing, bro.
You can't react.
That's valid.
You have to
That's
just
valid.
You just got to hammer your side. Don't
And the
even talk
mystery,
about this.
the mystery of Kendrick is what really won because you didn't know where he was gonna come from. You didn't know what he was gonna say, and you didn't know
Kendrick
how
had
far he
all
was
the
gonna take
answers,
it.
bro.
You didn't know how far he was gonna take it either. With Drake, you knew there was a limit.
I hate to say this
yeah.
because I hate this. I just don't like Kendrick, but he was the boogeyman.
Yeah.
I always thought that was corny, and I'm like, why him? What, but he was the boogeyman, bro.
Nah,
You didn't know
I mean-
where he was coming from, how he was going to do
He
it.
stood on business with all 5 foot 7 inches. Of balls.
I think that's where all this comes from.
He
When you
stood
grow
on
up that
business in
short,
his size 7.
yeah, but when that size 7's on your neck, bro,
Hey,
when you're getting kicked in your head,
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna turn off his camera. I'm gonna turn off his camera right now. He has to take a 5-minute break. You gotta step out of the room for 5 minutes, cuz. What are the top 5 beefs of all time for hip hop? This is definitely one of them. I think this is in the top 5, definitely. And I kind of wanted to go through it with you. Definitely Biggie and Pac. But
Of course.
you had a valid statement saying
Yeah,
that.
Nas.
Is that really
it's
a beef?
not, that was like life, like real beef. But there was not much rap there. It was like who shot you kind of got
G-Unit murder.
thrown in there.
G-Unit murder.
G-Unit,
Unit
was great.
murder.
I say BP versus Juice Crew.
I hate to say
really?
I hate to say it, but 6ix9ine versus everybody. Everybody hated 6ix9ine when he came out. Everybody.
But where their songs though? I'm talking about what.
Yeah,
Music's not
True.
very good.
Yeah,
No.
his music was trash. but
BP
everybody-
versus I'll explain that Juice Crew is that he took on a whole crew. South Bronx, Bridges Over.
But that's the OG too. That really set the stage for like all of these diss songs.
Yeah.
Yo, when you compare it to the older shit, though, it's just like it just got so gutter and grimy and dirty now.
But the Bridge is Over. The Bridge is Over is a masterful display of like
And it's hate.
crazy.
Yeah, pure
It is
hate.
hate.
Yeah,
That's
genuine
crazy.
hate. Yeah.
But he mixed so many styles in there. He put a dance hall fucking chorus in there. The Bridge is Over. The Bridge is Over. Biddy bye bye. And then he went into fucking Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Right? He went into It's Still Rock and Roll with Me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
and
genius.
it was a club record.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And it was a club record.
It still is.
I think that's still the number one beef of all time. Like the
BDP?
Yeah, KRS Boogie Down Productions against
Well,
Juice
that
Crew.
was so
But
hip hop.
But it set the stage for everything.
Hey, yo, I think the G-Unit Murder Inc. thing is kind of comparable to this Kendrick thing because how can you beat me if I have the best record out right now?
I'm going to agree with you.
In the club,
I'm going to agree with you.
I'm saying whatever I want. I got the hottest record in the world.
But and
You
we
really
talked about this
can't
last
beat
time.
it.
And
50
you know what-
also had the best like persona and like in the streets.
Yeah, but
in the club.
but you know what proved that? I know Fat Joe has nothing to do with it, but when Fat Joe did a versus Ja Rule demolished him, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a Bronx guy born and raised, but he fucking demolished him.
Really?
Bro, like 4 songs in, Fat Joe did a Big Pun song. Like this is how bad it was. Yeah, it was.
R.O.A.D had records, man.
Ja Rule had a fucking run,
He had
bro.
hits.
A run.
But that's the thing.
But
is
he
that
he had hits But if you look back on that disc
And he
on
never
that battle,
addressed- but he-
everyone says that 50 watched him.
but he never addressed 50.
that's interesting that you say that though.
Where's
because,
the diss record? Where's the Ja Rule diss record
Because
against 50?
Ja Rule is kind of Drake. Because Ja Rule was the pop,
the man,
the crossover pop star, and then 50 just came in with this gutter street anthem. And
But
that
you know what the
crossed over,
difference is, though?
And then he came down with Back Down and all of this
50,
shit.
50 like Drake is the Degrassi kid. He's, you know, he does not have that street cred because they both were the biggest superstars. But with Drake, people are mad that he's this big. With 50, they loved it. He got shot 9 times. He stands on his business. He's talking shit to Supreme. He's living it, you know? And so people wanted 50 to beat Ja, you know? They were on his side. This is a whole lot of people who are not on Drake's side because they do not want him to be the number one guy in the game.
Yeah, it was definitely a notch taker downer.
Big time.
And a lot of people agreed. Like, you could just see that everybody was like, this guy's... I mean, that quote, what Kanye said, and we're leaving him out, but Kanye said everybody was looking forward to the elimination of Drake.
Yeah.
That shit said a lot to me. It's like, they're not telling us that they want to get rid of him.
But they do.
But they want to get rid of him.
So the whole thing to me, the whole answer to me is that jealousy, or are they valid in their feelings?
It could be. I think it's the industry where it's at right now, and I think that it's something that they're never going to tell us because they know that they would look a little crazy telling us this. But the people that are involved, they know.
Yeah, but bro, who's going to fill that void? Who's going to fill that void?
Well, I don't get why people like.
You're saying Drake, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to fill the Drake void?
If Drake says tomorrow,
if you're in the industry, you want Drake around.
Yeah, if Drake says tomorrow, yo, I'm done. I'm not going to put out another motherfucking record.
The whole fucking genre.
Someone tweeted out something really interesting, and they said, the rap game needs Drake. It doesn't necessarily need Kendrick as far as sales.
Absolutely.
But now,
as far as sales.
a diehard hip hop fan would tell you the opposite.
Yeah, but
right?
But if I'm looking at,
but if you're talking about from the industry,
even if as we're looking at it as DJs, right?
It's another thing too.
We're
Activity.
in the club, yeah.
Activity.
Yeah, his presence,
Kendrick, if you come out with an album every 4 years, who's more valuable? The person that comes out every single year and tours, brings other people, other artists, this, that, and the third, and is out there every single year helping a new wave come through. Who's more valuable?
Exactly. I mean, exactly his impact, bro. I mean, yo, during the pandemic, Kendrick pops up in D-Nice's stream. You think people are gonna give a fuck? No, D-Nice is where he is because Drake pulled up in his stream. They're like, oh shit, Drake is on his stream.
Yeah, he's the hitmaker, man. He's the number one. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
shit, Drake is on his stream.
Michelle Obama and Oprah was the big.
Yeah, but I think they had a little bit.
Drake was the
I think they had a little bit more impact.
Drake was the first though.
When we saw Oprah, we were like, Oprah? We were like, Michelle Obama? Okay. Drake is cool, but Michelle Obama and Oprah?
Yeah, but Drake was the first though.
No, yeah, but my mom is like, wait, Oprah was on whose? What
Ellen is on
there. Ellen?
Crazy, bro. Crazy. But I mean, the fact that Drake like popped up on his shit, people were like, okay, who is this guy?
Drake saved hip hop the last 2-3 years.
Yo, it would be like nothing
for the clubs, like for DJs.
I would say 10 years, bro.
It's been a long time.
But after the pandemic,
oh yeah,
Drake really fucking kind of held us down for a minute. There was not a lot of shit out there.
You know what? He
like Glorilla, then like we needed all those Drake records. We needed some of that shit. True. There was some horrible shit out there.
I would go away now if I was
looking
him.
like we didn't need it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Ken.
The crazy thing about it is that people would, if you really technically look at it, they would be like, well, that's when he fell off. If people are objectively looking at it, they're like, he already peaked before the pandemic. What we're getting right now is kind of like mid-Drake.
Do you believe that? I heard that his record deal is like he has to put out 2 albums a year, and that's why he's just.
I mean, if you're getting paid for them.
Yeah, but that's why, like, you know, he got $400 million and all these rumors about you're getting a piece of it, but the record label's like, you're gonna work every fucking year.
I cannot believe he still is a slave to the record company. That's fucking crazy.
I mean, slave for $400 million
at his caliber.
Yeah, it's like, are you really? Yeah,
but
I think we're taking the slave thing a little too far.
I mean, look at Bad Bunny's deal. Bad Bunny has a 90-10 deal with Remus.
Okay.
Where he gets 90% of everything.
But does he have like I would think?
And they say that Drake signed Bad Bunny.
I don't think that's true.
And he's still
Bad Bunny would never.
And Bad Bunny's still doing records with Drake.
Bad Bunny would never.
Universal, bro.
Universal.
Universal.
I mean, bro.
I don't know.
I'm saying
when you have so much money, though, at one point, like if Drake wants to just take a year off and he can't because his deal says you got to do 2 records a year. I don't care if you have $500 million, $100 million, $1 billion, $jillion dollars. Eventually, it's like, I don't want to make another album.
Yeah, take that break, bro. I think he deserves a break, bro.
Right.
Honestly, I think Drake deserves a break.
He he kind of earned the break.
Yeah.
But if he takes it now, it looks like somebody like sent him into the break.
I think that he got sabotaged because he said he was gonna take a break.
Right.
Now's the time to go get him.
Now's the time to go.
Imagine a world where he didn't reply to like that, where he just took a vacation.
Right.
He would have been. Just
I don't think
fine.
like that comes out. If
There's
he-
an
if he
alternate
does-
universe, some
No,
Marvel
I mean
shit.
like when like that was already out by the end of his tour.
Like that was a response to first person shooter.
It was like 3 weeks at the end of the tour, and then like that came out. You know, so it's
He
like-
was already on vacation.
and he was just
already
like,
chilling.
you know what? I like that
Whatever.
record. That's cool. Whatever.
Yeah. He could have been on the beach,
Yeah.
relaxing with some girls.
Oh,
He
no,
heard
no
some
big
chatter
three,
about
just
it.
big you, Kendrick. All right, cool.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. See you in 4 years. Whatever. You know.
Yeah, that's.
You drop another
That would have
weirdo
that
narrative
other world.
album.
He still
Yeah,
would have been
yeah.
on top.
See.
But
Now
you
look.
know what? That's where Drake is. That's where, as a fan, I love that he is a competitor and he's like, "Fuck that! I'm not gonna let it slide." But probably as like a 40-year-old man who's like done it all, and you do have the world against you, it's probably better to let some things slide.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
with that.
nobody. That's why I disagree
Damn,
with
you
like
calling him
that.
40 already? 40 years old?
37. He's closer.
37,
He's closer to
38.
40 than he is to 30.
Yeah, man. Listen, you're old. We're old. Like that's why I still don't know if I mean, I guess you have to consider it a diss track because it kicked this whole thing off. But if Drake didn't respond to that, I don't think people would have been like, "Yo, you have to respond to like that." That's why I don't consider it a diss record. It could have come and gone.
But whole verse,
I mean,
bro.
on the contrary,
it's a
on the
whole
contrary, he's
verse.
also been taking jabs at Kanye for decades.
Yeah, and
For a
you know, they've all been
decade
throwing
in
shots
songs.
for sure. But I don't think
Checks
it was
over
enough.
stripes, like bro, that was all jabs at Kanye,
Yeah.
bro.
You know, when I heard that like that Kanye remix, I was like, this battle's over. I was like, well, as soon as Kanye's
That was ridiculous.
as soon as he inserted himself in, I was like, this is over.
I actually like
fucking-
that we kind of like hip hop just like
Ignores Kanye.
yeah, they were just
now.
like whatever. Like no. Like
Kanye
back
never-
to the
like
back to business.
Kanye's like the Orlando Brown of
He never lies. So when he says Kanye never lies. So when he says we were very ecstatic about the elimination of Drake,
It's true.
it was like you're like, yo, Kanye's really telling the
you
truth
didn't
about
even
what
need
all
it,
these
though.
motherfuckers are talking
all
about.
of those guys, whether you
Kanye's
did it on
public
Twitter or
There's
Instagram, or
probably a group chat that's like fuck Drake,
1000%.
Yeah,
fuck Aubrey.
I would say that.
1000%.
And every time he posts something, they're like, look, you see what this motherfucker's wearing? He's so fucking whack, yo. He's so corny.
Oh, now he's got a face tattoo.
Or be like, yo, or someone's like, yo, I was wearing that bandana first. He got that shit from me. Everyone in that group chat is saying that
Yo,
shit.
what, you can be on top of the game and be the coolest, most talented dude. When you overexpose yourself, people get sick of you. It's like the same thing with comedy. You know, if you're always out there, it's like enough, dude. And you're always changing your style, always wearing and dressing some ridiculous shit. People eventually are like, we don't want this anymore. But when the people want it, what do you do then?
I think the one person that caught the biggest L is King from MCU.
Yeah.
Because
Boy, talk about fumbling that bag.
yo, you got to think about
You're
this.
saying the actor.
Yeah, because
Jonathan
Majors.
Drake is accusing Kendrick of being a woman beater, right?
Right.
This guy, he loses his whole fucking career over it,
Right.
And Kendrick is fucking
Bro,
celebrated.
Drake's got to be sitting around going like, wait, what?
What happened?
Why? I just people did not want to believe that.
They
Drake needed to have a fucking video, otherwise people were just going to be like, "No, that's not true."
Jonathan Majors was too silent. He should have just went rogue. He just went on there and
Like,
being
she's
like,
crazy.
yo,
It's all
Disney's racist. They're fucking racist.
Got to be on the defense. You can't be on the defensive.
If
Go
he
on the
was
offense.
louder, if he was just louder, maybe the whole thing would have changed.
Yeah, because he showed up with funny pants on and shit.
No,
Like that. It's like his fucking outfits all fucked
Yeah, the
up.
public defender.
Yeah, it's like, you know, he had those Jordan jeans on.
You know what's the one we forgot to mention that West Coast is gonna hate us is the fucking NWA and Ice Cube.
No,
We talked
said
about it last time.
We did.
Yeah, we talked about
mentioned that.
You said that was
No
number one.
Vaseline. That was
Yeah,
really
you said
big.
no.
No Vaseline, right? Was the record that
And then Dr. Dre and Snoop against
Luke.
Luke and Eazy-E.
Yeah.
It was very, very one-sided.
Luke-
But watching
Luke,
Eminem just
Eazy-E
smash
and Tim
Benzino
Dog.
was fun for like 5
yeah.
straight
And
years.
Tim Dog. And Tim Dog.
And Tim Dog.
Yeah.
Tim Dog.
Nothing against Silk the Shocker though.
yo Benzino still
Tim-
heard about
when
that
I was-
massacre.
Yo, Eminem. I mean, he massacred Benzino. That was just. Yeah.
I mean, and then you got Meg and Nicki, which was kind of like,
Yo, that one bar, Megan's Law that was a great bar.
I mean,
That ended Nicki.
Yeah.
It was one line. That's all it took, man.
Get it?
Yo, listen.
At the battle.
What's going on with Meg
Allegedly.
though? She can't get a song
another
to
Ozempic.
stick. She can't get a song to stick.
Well, Cardi says she's not coming out with an album this year. So,
Cardi said that?
I think it's very weird that Cardi has never really done like a world tour, right? Has she?
Nah, she was pregnant.
Well, she also hasn't put it. When was the last album?
6 years, 7 years ago.
I feel like she just can't. Like she's like a personality now.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't even need to make music. I can.
No,
be,
she does.
I'm-
She does.
I mean, she doesn't have. She
does.
to
does.
be considered a rapper, but she can. She's big enough now that she
She's-
can just be like.
I mean, she's definitely not a Rihanna.
No. But
Yo,
like,
7
but like
years
she
is
can.
a long time, bro. 7 years is a long time.
It's,
That is kinda
she-
crazy.
It's already still like you can Pepsi deals and shit like that.
Yeah,
like
Bodak-
once
Bodak
you-
Yellow still
once
rings,
you,
though.
Once
I'm
you
not
have
gonna
a
hold you.
following,
Yeah, but music is the thing.
that
though.
yellow still
the
rings,
thing,
though.
The thing that really kind of got out there is music. So
yeah, but if
you don't
she,
do music,
once you have the following that she has, you can just be like, I have a podcast, I go live, I do streams, shit like that.
I don't know how much longer that's gonna fly, bro.
What?
Just not being able to put out music and just living off of that.
I mean,
Because things can happen. You know, one scandal on social media can.
Well, yeah,
People
I
will
mean,
people
if you're
will forget your career
yeah,
in a heartbeat.
yeah. I think the whole like the same way facts don't matter is like you don't even need if you just are the loudest and you say it the most and you have your fan base and you radicalize them, like you can last for the most interesting thing I saw was it was a comment on one of like the rap Instagrams, right? And it said this man really just took a whole bunch of internet rumors and made a track out of it, like major sus, right? Like super suspect,
Right.
And it's like
in regards to who?
exactly. It was like you could apply that to in this battle, you know. It was, and they were talking about Drake when he put out the Hard Part 6 and said we fed you the information and all that shit. Like people were saying you took that from the internet. But you could apply the same thing to Kendrick. It's a bunch of internet rumors that Drake does shit with little kids and all that. So it's like you create your own narrative in this world, whether you're in rap, whether you're music, politics, whatever, TV, entertainment.
I think in an election year, this shit is really troubling because to see how the pylon can actually work. This is kind of like
we've been seeing.
it's
it.
a
I was
it's
gonna
a,
say,
it's a
we've been seeing
microcosm
it.
of what can possibly happen this year. Like,
well, Trump's the fucking creator of this whole shit. Like he was the one who did it first.
Goldie, it's been happening the
control.
last 8 years. We've been seeing it since 2016, since Trump like was running for office.
Using the
we've been-
internet for your like personal gain that way and just smashing your opponents.
I mean,
it's changed, man. Shit has changed.
Yeah, it's grimy.
it's very different. It's like, and like you said, there's two things involved, right? There's the angry mob, and if they're behind your back and they're louder than the other mob, you know.
And if you know that, like I think Kendrick knew that. And he's
Yeah.
like Drake was at like Kendrick just came and like tipped him over the edge. He smashed him with a sledgehammer, but he needed to only just tap him because so many people wanted to see that.
And
feeling.
also just like not addressing your charges and just like refocusing that energy to some other accusation.
Nobody's talking.
Doesn't
about
fucking
any-
matter.
Nobody's talking about any sort of abusing of his wife. Nobody's talking about Dave Free. Nothing.
I thought
Who is Dave Free?
I thought the Dave Free was amazing.
Kendrick's like manager, right? Like he's
Yeah.
like right hand man.
Yeah.
So if that's true, if those two accusations are true, those are like major.
And it won't even
bombs.
matter if
And
even if it comes out to be true in a year and a half.
it's over.
The
Damage is done.
The funny shit is when you saw Kendrick's kid, and one of the kids does look like Dave Free.
Like him.
Like it really does look like him.
Nah, but that's why Pusha killed him because Pusha like told the world like, yo, you got a son, and then he actually had a fucking son, yo.
That's why though I think it's crazy that if there's no 11-year-old daughter that we just Kendrick gets a
just
pass
brush it
on
on
that.
the- yeah.
You wrote a whole verse about some completely fake ass shit. To me, that's like that should have
internet
been
rumor.
Major
Internet
point. Yeah,
rumor.
right. To me, that should be like points deducted. But at this point, it's like 100 to nothing. So it doesn't matter. But
I mean, I'm curious to see what happens.
I don't know.
The summer's not over yet. It's just getting
Goldie,
started.
should I have that song in my
I was gonna
song,
say
bro?
the number one thing we need to do is you need to get that song, bro.
Hilarious.
Should I get it? Should I get it?
He don't like us.
Should I get it? Nah, that's crazy. I should put it on my Pitbull, on my globalization mix for Sunday.
Yo, last question before we go, because I don't know, like was that you think he went to Mustard and was like, I need a new beat for this? Because I saw Questlove saying that Alchemist.
No, they said he didn't
give him the beat for this. He gave it to him.
That was years ago.
Yeah.
That was years ago.
So
the Mustard joint, he went. They said Top Dog said that he had that record 5 months ago. So I think he had the chorus, but he just didn't have the lyrics.
And like and does like Mustard have to like clear it, like say you can use this in your battle, or is it like
absolutely.
like if you buy a beat, is it yours like to use however you want?
Yeah, you kind of have some input as a producer, or whatever like that. But I mean,
I think as the producer,
so my point being like right now Drake is like fuck DJ Mustard.
No,
he's not.
I don't
because
think so.
You don't think
Well,
so?
like no. So like I think the thing is, every producer wants a #1 hit song.
Yeah.
So
no matter
I think-
how you get it.
And every producer wants a Kendrick on it, a Drake on it.
Yeah.
They want a big artist on their song.
But I also like if
So
if it was me and I didn't want to have beef with Drake and you bought a beat from me or however, and then all of a sudden you use that, I'd be like, whoa.
But I feel
whoa,
it's
don't wanna
always
be in
been an
this.
unspoken rule in hip hop, and I could be wrong, Goldie. You correct me, or Marty, you correct me. In hip hop, if you're the DJ or the producer, you're not really.
on one side of the other. Yeah,
You're kind of like you have
Switzerland, yeah.
What is it? Yeah,
Switzerland, you're neutral.
debatable.
Because I would not feel like you're. I would not
Allegedly.
feel like you're neutral. If I'm Drake,
No.
I'm like, yo, you gave this man the golden ticket to win the battle.
Mustard was in Vegas and he was playing Drake music and he played his song, Not Like Us, with Kendrick. If he gave that beat to Kendrick 5 months ago, he's just like, yo, I got this hit.
Got the hottest record.
I got the hottest record, and
But
I'm
at
gonna
what
do my
cost
DJ
if It's
set.
like I don't know.
But if Mustard was in the studio with Kendrick
that's-
and he's like, Mustard, I need a song, and they're cooking up the beat right there, that's different.
Yeah, and then say this, and then do that. You know,
Like-
that's.
But I think it's just kind of like good timing, and it's like, yo, I got a #1 hit record. I'm in Vegas.
Bro.
This is like I'm dropping my record.
I'm glad you called that shorty out, by the way.
Huh?
I'm glad you called that shorty out on that shit, by the way. Jyoti or whatever.
Jyoti?
Yeah, I'm glad you called her out on that.
What do you?
'Cause that
I didn't call. We were just
Nah,
discussing
you called
it
her out, bro. That was corny. That was mad corny what she did. She wanted clickbait, bro. That was mad corny what she
to
did.
talk about another DJ.
Yeah, that was mad corny, bro. Like I'm not. You feel me? Like obviously, Mustard was there to do a job, bro. You feel me? Like he was there to DJ. They paid him $70,000 or whatever the fuck they pay him. Obviously, you got to play the hits, bro. You got to play the hit. It doesn't matter.
Oh, this is the woman who said you didn't play it till late at night.
Yeah.
She's a bozo
And then-
for that.
Yo, but it's also like I could go to any DJ set and I could do a video like that and be like, yo, how you gonna go from this song to this?
Right.
I could literally overanalyze every DJ set and shit on them, and
but
that's a
you're a
horrible
real-
thing to do to a DJ.
But you're a real DJ. You wasn't a door girl at Boiler Room. You know.
Why?
what I mean? Like-
Say okay. Oh, let's
Shots fired. Like that. Not like us. They not like us. Fuck Jay-Z.
Woke up this morning.
Oh, man.
Got yourself a gun.
listen.
Body rock with the slander.
I'm so glad to see you guys. Thank you for
I do
coming
my homework.
through.
I do my homework, bro. I do my homework.
Yo,
Good stuff.
Goldie, go here, yo. I'm still fucking. I don't know what to say. All right, yo. Marty, I'm glad you're here.
Yo, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to sit with
Goldie,
y'all.
KFC, yo.
Yes,
we
sir.
gotta do this again. We just gotta do
That's
this
a
again.
fact.
All right,
And
but
then
who's gonna be beefing, though?
when Drake drops the next record.
No, we got to do King Combs and 50 next. We got plenty
Oh
of
my
beats.
God. Crazy.
Not touching that. I'm not touching that.
That's crazy.
Not touching that.
That is crazy.
Hey, yo, we out. Thank you all, man.
Peace.
If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.